What did you say, Connie?
Thank you.
I don't even know.
Actually, there's not that many people in here tonight, so probably would.
I don't even know where mine's at.
Your chili needs to be
My
done.
nameplate.
Well, I got a set.
I think I took it. I think so. Donnie Bright's check's up here. If he was to come in.
comes in.
Which I don't know if he or not.
Got it.
Got first too.
Yeah, Mel, don't be stealing my makeup. I can put some blush on you if you want.
Yeah. Well, Taylor does.
I like your tie, Aaron.
Thank you.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, none of you haul to me when
Well,
she gets
I'm
in.
6 feet above. That's part of it.
Yes. Lip gloss on you.
Lip gloss.
Hey Doug, how you doing?
That's the cuts and everything, the new one. We put back in the police thing.
What was that on that?
We cut a bunch. A bunch. See, I give yours, didn't I?
Yeah.
Actually, I think Teresa.
I give Bill
she got
Bill
it.
one.
Thanks, Teresa.
No problem.
I give you one.
I know, I need one.
Sure. Well, you gotta have one too, don't you?
I don't know, which one does it go with? I got about 4.
Suzanne, you want one?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, well, right?
Yeah.
Still some tissues
Oh.
behind you.
Hey. No, we didn't.
No, I'm
We
good.
didn't do 3.
I don't think you want to see me do
We
this, do
didn't
you?
want, I know, it's on the agenda.
I've seen,
Oh, you've got
The
long
second and
sleeves.
third, because we have to read the whole thing since Mike wrote it today. I got copies of all of them,
How you doing, Doug?
of the salary
Wanna read
ordinance.
'em?
Yeah, I can read it.
Can't wait for the cold weather to come back.
That is the approved salary ordinance. So, everybody, we'll see. It's already signed or everything.
Oh, good.
Got about 14 out.
What, I don't know. I don't know which one you want me to look at.
Is that keeping busy?
Am I with
Good.
We'll give
What
one
about
for
Butch?
your table. And you two.
He's dandy.
You guys can share. This is one for your table.
Okay.
Still broken.
Good.
Is Valerie gonna be here? No. Okay, these are, copies of the resolution. Thank you. You're welcome. Now you wanna dance.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Crap.
I don't know. I don't know which one to go off of now because, let's see, I have this one, this one.
Let's go into vote.
Okay, let's see what else I got. I got this for green now. I'm assuming this is the one I have to get signed. Maybe.
Newspaper called. Story.
This is for me to
Well,
sign.
certification.
Hey, Bobby.
Your opinion about that.
Okay, so I got this one,
There's so many of them.
What's that?
That's what I'm ball.
At our last round of our board meeting,
Got me.
we approved the only put out
And what?
bid, the
Kind of like.
So which one am I looking at? Because I have four.
testing and cleaning.
This one,
The
this
one-
one,
the one
this
I
one,
just
and
laid
this
down.
one.
Condition is,
This one? Okay. Oh, I got another one too. I got 5.
Where you started from.
Oh.
We need to do an executive session.
I say brief overview or summary, not getting into the specifics or the details. That probably would be a bad idea, but like I say, there's, you know what the hot topics are.
I don't know.
Don't
Thank
don't
you.
address them because hearsay and rumors
Hey, Les.
until it happens.
These are the originals we have
I
to
won't
do, right?
disagree. I just give you a heads up, 'cause
Resolution
you
and
hear-
ordinance
you
for
turn
the
it on.
green deal.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got these.
I got 5.
Hey, Suzanne.
I got caught.
I got 5. I'm just saying I got another one too.
50 cents is in there. We went through and changed them all.
That looks just like mine.
I know. I went through them with Vicky. I went through all of them with Vicky and changed them accordingly. That was before the last meeting. And we changed.
All right, thank you.
For 15 right now.
With
Hi there. What's up?
he was taking what our tax says. And now 50 cents. This is just 50 cents on what the union contract says.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then I'm not getting.
I don't, that's what it was in my packet.
I got one.
You know what I mean?
That one's here. That's the one that
That's what I thought.
the mayor gave.
I don't know.
Is that this one here?
This one.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But the mayor gave me this. Yeah, go ahead.
Because it's not a contract, right? It's just a resolution and a interlocal.
Your local does not go in front of.
See, this is the
It's just you.
resolution, and this is the agreement. 2 and 3.
We're gonna wait a few minutes. Gene had to go to the restroom.
Right down there where I did. Cross that out.
You know, and I'll have them do it.
Show me on the calculator.
What's that?
You got your phone, don't you? Yeah.
Look, I had 6 things here. I had no idea what I'm supposed to do.
This is just contract modification.
Give me one of your pens. I thought I had a pen. I don't. So I'm out too.
Yeah, this is.
That's good. keep me in line. I thought I had one.
He was just bringing back the copies. He said he didn't have to.
We're looking at this and this then.
Notary public, and I said.
This,
Oh, that's what we did last.
This is the one the mayor gave.
Okay.
They're giving 21 million each.
He just gave us a copy.
and then
We're not reading it.
That's our original, so this is.
For a total of 42
this
million.
is, did you get
Give
that?
it to you,
I'll,
or
Yeah.
just make sure I get a copy.
And that's what I'm saying though. It's given 17 on
Well,
road.
that is taking out those things that we talked about. That's turn lane. And whatever in red, like on this first page, those are all stuff that's gotta be done.
I'm gonna put this in once, and then I'll email you a copy of it.
It doesn't match the union contract?
I'll just email you a copy of it.
Like right now, it shows with a stipend, but in the union contract, it don't show a stipend.
Oh, okay. What about the purple?
I don't know what that's for.
And the red, same thing here?
Mhm.
It doesn't show that in the union contract?
And then, see here, the purple. And the purple.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
If they want some.
taking this out,
Yeah,
and then it should have the school back in there.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And that work out?
Ready, Jane?
Yes.
Call meeting order. Roll call, please.
Councilperson Jane Pope,
Present.
Aaron Cook.
Here.
Bill Bruner.
Here.
Mike Lawrence.
Here.
Doug Taylor.
Here.
City Attorney Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine. Assistant Police Chief Mike Lanning. EMS Director Bobby Mills. Mayor Dennis Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Announcements? Running on to new business. Everybody was handed out the new 2013 Municipal Development Fund worksheet. We cut about a little over $12 million out of it. You want time to look at this? I'll give you a 20-minute recess to look at it if you want.
What are we looking at, Mayor?
Our budget we're putting in for the riverboat.
This is the one that was just laying here?
Yeah, I just laid it to you.
Yeah, 'cause
Basically what we did was put the police back in, put money back into school. We cut some out of redevelopment.
can we take,
Can we
We'll
take that 20 minutes?
20-minute recess, look at it? Okay, we'll take a 20-minute recess, look at it.
Motion to adjourn. Then.
We'll adjourn for 20 minutes.
why don't you and Jane go back there?
We need one.
Talk to radio.
All right.
Why are you throwing some?
Why you throwing stuff at me?
I know.
What's going on?
Maybe that's why they give me two.
Time for roll
Up
call.
here.
Yeah, there was two laying here.
He's got one. I gave him enough of it.
I don't know.
This is what was in our
Wait a
work.
minute, the ones we
In our
got in our
packet.
packet are the green.
This
That's
is
the one that was in the packet.
The red
This
is
is
the
the
one.
Red is what we just got. So this is what. Okay. I'll see you in 20 minutes.
What, you gonna go eat or what? You gonna go eat?
You never know. I could come over here and drive around town.
And the green is based off what both sentence, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Top of the worksheet.
That 15's not in there, do you know that or not?
No.
You ain't talking about.
Hey, Dennis, do you know what these The water capital improvement, electric capital improvement, and sewer capital improvement. What them are?
Mel explained it, but the one was the water line going down where you had 12-inch.
And the last one was wrong, you were right.
Them 50 or?
That goes all the way up. Down here, ours is tank, the tank on the hill. He said he wants to redo that, he's gonna reline, one of them relining the water line up on the hill.
I know I seen that
Got a
other one.
little while, but we put it back to schools.
Why do you need that? All the toys you got. Everybody talks about my toys. Go
I
now.
just want to come barn and have notice and say,
That's fine.
you know,
Oh,
you need to be
absolutely.
prepared next year. It ain't gonna be there.
I cut my farm EMS. I'll cut them, they'll get cut.
No,
That's fine.
So they need to be put on.
I remember that.
And
It was told that, I was on
No, we
council
did. I
when we
did
this.
cut some
We
stuff
told
out.
them, when the money starts going down,
Got a call
your money's
Friday.
going down.
I told Grant,
Did they take the small business grant completely out of there?
we was talking about Franklin County.
No, we told, we
That
said
ought
they
to go down. That ought to go down.
Okay, so if you add the 75,
the stuff that I noticed that the stuff
That's what I
that
said.
we suggested last time we agreed
Plus
on.
50
They,
cents.
I mean,
Hey, next
So
budget.
the small business grant is totally out of there.
you know, the connecting community.
I'm on the river road. I'm out of MDF and the river road.
Especially when the funds go down.
guys,
That non-reverting.
I mean, the numbers that I can only go, you know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why she would give you.
Somebody's still drinking Red Stripe beer, I think.
We cut it, but
And then plus,
But
I
we
mean,
did make them change that. They was using on roads and stuff. And no,
Somebody's still drinking Red Stripe.
plus they're, you know, if they get that 500, they ought not be eligible for the 10 county grant.
I agree with
No,
you.
it's not in the contract.
It's in there, but it's not shown.
Exactly.
Man, hey, we cut some on this guy, I'm done with it.
The 10 county grants has been reduced?
No, it's 10.
What's that?
Housing grants is 100,000, okay.
Oh,
No, it's always been 10
the wish
million.
list.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at the wrong line.
What was the
I
reason
didn't.
for the special crimes getting increased?
Drug programs and stuff like that. We got bad.
So how much do you need to declare something unsafe? Hell, I'll do it for nothing.
Do you not realize how many unsafe houses we have?
Hey, can we put a letter out to schools to let them know, hey, you know, revenue's going down, you need to be prepared for.
We ain't gonna cut all that out. We better cut some of it. Everybody has to. We gotta cut our stuff, especially our emergency services. They gonna cut too.
Mayor, where's the 4 million for, Aurora?
It's in there. I talked to Rory, man.
Where's it at?
I thought it was 6 o'clock.
Still up there. Thought they were.
Grant sewer project,
So I'm assuming that's
Take
why.
us,
cut it in half?
He said we can do that.
If,
give them half a month,
Alright.
half net.
the only thing I can do is they were paying you over what you were supposed to be.
I don't even like to get started.
Yeah.
What about the row house sprinklers and,
These 3 capital improvement projects there.
Those are the sheets I gave you the other day.
Because I don't know if she's been paying.
High pressure main was down by you. We worked on that darn thing again yesterday.
do we need to put it back in there?
Oh, excuse me.
We promised that, didn't we?
Breakers over at Walker's.
Okay, last year was 24.
This is a 3-line.
I know, both of you's working together.
And then, let me see if it's in this one.
Grant, do you think we put them row house sprinklers back in there for 45?
Well, and the new one, the new union contract.
And I don't think that's right.
That, no, it isn't. It was 92. That's with benefits.
Yeah, because this shouldn't have
Public
benefits.
entity loans we got completely rid of.
this is the sprinkler.
Oh, there it is. It is there. It is there, Mayor. I'm sorry. I just
I haven't
got
compared it with that, so.
I can't follow this line by line because
Just stuff's been taken out.
it's been moved.
We have to cut, guys.
This and this is where we subsidize, is that right?
have.
This is a
kind of that
subsidy.
sandwich
The
board concept.
125.
Well, I
This
think I
was
know
the
we get it
other.
fixed.
This is what the
Okay, where am I at?
utilities.
Okay.
Row house,
It's like a sailboat.
45.
Wind blows.
This isn't
knocks
the
it
right
over.
copy.
Doesn't seem to
This
matter
can't
which
be the right
provider
copy
is
because
gonna-
I changed.
Right here.
Gosh.
That's annexation utility improvement.
No, I didn't.
What's that?
That part of that, Mike,
Taking
is
a
tree
deep breath.
trimming here,
Has to be.
and part of it is, the rest of it is if we annex it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Row house 45.
Well, because I knew that was in
That
there
was cut
last
in
year.
half.
Yeah, I just stuck it.
Public entity loans was taken completely out.
I see something else, I'll be back.
Oh, that's fine. Grants sewer projects at 160.
This is the one.
Was clerical A position full-time taken out? That hasn't been taken out of the, where's it at in Riverboat?
All are. They are. There's no question.
City calendars, 15,000. Yes, home was taken out.
15.
You don't want to see us getting them fixed, then you want to see something else.
Cell
What
phone,
can we do?
This.
Because that's bringing attention to it.
She's saying that's what she's
And I guess that negates my next question of if we want to do
legal publications,
Those were not
Because
changed.
the issue, first of all, there's signs are falling apart. And we can't do that at all.
union arbitration.
We're trying, here's our dilemma.
Now, what's crime stoppers?
Moving down Walnut.
20,000.
So
the police department they have for, like,
Anyway, isn't really
Crime
visible.
Stoppers.
Got human arbitration quite a bit too, didn't
We're
you?
trying to find ways, especially the pop-up
They'll
shops.
pay so much for
Everybody.
detailed arrest and
How do we
conviction.
get
Money for that.
How do we get it signed like it'll show up above a parked car?
They're getting their own.
Habit. Right, but he's not the same. Andy said he's on his way.
So I probably shouldn't have come up and asked you any questions. I'm just trying to, you know what, I want it to be right, and I don't want us to spend any more money on something that's not
an old one, eh?
acceptable anyway.
See, it's got 23. They were actually dollar. We got
So open,
We need this cut in half. I got one Riverboat secretary.
It makes it tough. The code itself. They want you to.
He's already said that.
That's what Umbug gave us.
Come on.
Said we only have some.
Hey, Bobby,
Riverboat secretaries, we've only got one, so they need to cut that in half.
what would you be comfortable with?
Your advertising. Special. They all take temporary permit. It all has to be.
So you'd be fine with 30?
which would eliminate every one of those things.
Right, so we could cut this one to 30.
Let me ask you something. Well, okay, well, let me ask you something.
Because that was for the wages too, but it's in another line.
What number is it?
I've never heard of it, so I didn't know that.
That
527.
Trying not to make a stand.
days in, year to year. Oh, yeah.
And plus, there can always be an additional if it's something needed. But I mean, if there was something that come up say an ambulance blew up or something, you know.
Okay, well then, I'm
Ready to go back?
glad you told me that because I will stop.
Well, surely 30, you know.
I'm just putting
Give me another 5.
They're gonna cut that riverboat secretary down to 1.
Okay.
That on the front page?
And then
It'd be 45,718.
Bobby said if we went half with that, that would still be more than
At that point in time.
Cut that in half, is what you're saying?
yeah, because he had
45,718.
because the 60 was for wages too, but it's over here in another line item.
It's fair, I mean, I understand.
It's got 30,000
If we could
for
put
wages,
even
wherever it's
Where
at.
we at? What page you on?
The third one, so we could
like
cut
one
it
of
to
those
What's it
like
called?
things on our
that's
building.
527.
LER equipment.
Do that?
We cut that. Bobby said we're going to cut that. That's one of them that cuts.
He said we could cut it in half again.
We cut it out. Or no, we cut it
He
in
said
half.
go ahead and cut
Because
it.
he said you got the part-time wages and another line item, so just half.
About that because so many of those signs are falling apart, and yet, like, in terms of our Friday night wine walk.
Just give me a few more minutes, Mayor.
Good. Well, I was kind of worried about it.
That's
Second
it's out of this
That's kind of how we
was in
told
here,
people,
now it's
that's how
back
behind
in.
us,
That's that off the road.
just for that in there.
Is that already contracted?
I understand.
I don't know why. Whenever I did get out of this place, I had
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. No, you're absolutely, that's absolutely fair. I just needed to know.
Bill, are you getting on some of the ones that's not corresponding with the union?
Right. That's all fair. All fair. I appreciate it.
Did you get one of these?
Did they pass this out to you?
Because they seen that too.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at that. I saw that.
But it's got some of the stuff
Because
that correspond.
yeah, like this one, because it shows the stipends, but the union contract it don't. So if they read it, the union contract.
Everything in
Do you have a copy of the new? Do you have a copy of the new salary ordinance?
yeah, we have that one.
Yeah, they had it short. See it.
That my fucking wages is wrong. Yeah, I make less than my guys do now.
So is that you there?
Incompetence at every fucking level around here.
That's
It's
what
unfucking
it is here. It's in the red right here. What we're talking about.
Yeah, so it's short $1,040.
Is this the updated? This is?
Because it's not corresponding with the contract.
That's when they've already had the first.
Right, but see, my pay scale, I guess, my pay scale's not working.
If there does need to be a
Contract.
correction, you need to. But you got paid the right amount of money.
Leslie was told a fucking week ago.
Well, some of them don't have like your.
Is it wrong on that one?
Fuck yeah, it's wrong. She was told.
Yeah, but that way on the third, they can.
What if I need a calculator?
I got one here.
Okay, me and Doug are sharing. I didn't have a babysitter. I'm trying to remember. Okay.
That's what's on my paycheck.
I hope it's gonna be smoother. I hope it's gonna be smoother than you think.
One reason I know is I looked today.
I'd say so.
And that's me.
I'll tell you what's wrong.
That's all of them.
Bobby,
That's all of us besides
they're on the
Michael
end.
We're not necessarily saying you got enough, but if you want 24, that can say, so this should be on the separate.
It must be on the back page because I ain't got to it.
They got me in the new salary. 2440.
So you got an asterisk by it though?
Yeah, it says it's already in there.
Is that the new union book? That's all.
Well, I mean, is that one there?
They don't have them done yet, I guess.
Contract.
It's done.
I think there'll be amendments, I think. Here's what happened.
Yeah, Denise is like, take it to my
Well, I
dad.
think it's probably, if she caught some of that on here, it says it needs to be amended.
They never leave.
I've shown that.
Take that with them. I got one of them down there. I just haven't looked at it.
My dad.
The union might not be.
Let there be a lesson.
But it's in
It
your
is what it
favor.
is.
And then there's another one here too that's,
That's,
oh, I guess that's,
Grant.
no, that'd be Mike Clark.
Well, the construction project manager, that's not Mike
That's
McPherson.
this right here.
No, right here.
What's this?
Yeah, that one, they got two much. That's gotta be decreased.
So we were here last meeting, I needed you.
I think I was in Evansville. You take what it is a week?
I'm not gonna let that unless Dan's here to guide me. Yeah. This was just, it was during the meeting, just, some people wanted to put all the money in Riverboat instead of MDF, and I didn't know what the consequences of that would be.
Well, the only problem with it, I mean,
It's caught in what was reading in the.
What is the Hollywood Gate
That's that.
at Eastern?
That's
Well, what's it starting on?
if it's not in the salary ordinance, then they don't have to pay me my proper wage.
Well, what's the
No, it's not right.
The land. That's that through the Tune County grant deal.
Well, this says that rate already includes the, that's what that asterisk means. That asterisk means that the skilled trade adjustment is
I
included.
don't know why it should be in there.
Bring it up.
Well, I know she didn't. Right.
See, I have one. Okay, I'm getting
Right,
confused.
they amended it.
For 50 cents, right?
This is the one
Everybody,
you
everybody that has an asterisk should be plus 50 cents, I think.
should have. See, there's 27.
Every one of my check amount was wrong.
They took pool servicing and pool supplies
His
out.
wasn't plus 50 though.
This is my 27.
But no, I don't know.
I
about
marked it right here. See, I went through and marked all the
I think all the line crews were wrong.
That's 2739. So it's
Where's that at?
not added in there.
Riverboat? Yeah, see, I haven't seen
And there was a copy that had it changed.
Yeah, they took them out.
I didn't know.
That's not to say it can't come out of Parks Fund. We got $1 million.
Yeah,
I mean, the one you
just
gave
didn't
me
know why
had
they
that.
picked that for.
And then and I didn't look at any of that. I mean, you know, so technically, if these just came down 50 cents, I mean, I just run over there and add 50 cents.
But you got that.
I didn't.
I mean, I guess technically we can.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm getting at right now is you can't even use this number off this old contract because I'm making 2704 or 2714 right now.
I made copies of
I mean, did they ask for it
Got it
though?
over there.
The 45?
Well, I'm just not sure that we'll even need that because it
Are we
changed.
matching
Yeah,
up?
I didn't see where
Are we
it
matching up? Give me a minute.
changed was
That was something
this
That's
and
what I'm
that.
making.
trying to get.
Because I had to
She
change
didn't, she didn't amend it. She
Right.
said, so that's
Well,
my
I seen it
fault.
was 45 in here.
Hasn't that? Yeah, that's your fault.
She's the last sheet
None of the others for this, we don't.
Right here. It's 45. It's 45 here. Okay.
Okay, right, you're right.
They're just about this one. Keep talking about it, they'll be ready.
Well, can't we just hang
If she just get the numbers from Vicky,
talk
what
about it?
we're saying now, and add 75 cents to it, just be done with it. Whoever's typing this up.
They're gonna take it and read it well.
You're right.
Well, she said she got them.
She didn't. Well, she may have gotten them, but she didn't change them. They're identical to what they were last
It's in
time.
here separate.
No, they're staying there.
It's in there for
They don't get fucking.
We're off.
This doesn't change.
How much was that?
Incompetence.
Pay 50 cents out to them. I think that's what they're saying. So if that's the case, why can't we just say that like, look, there was a typo. We just need that 50 cents to one the asterisk.
Because those will change the.
All the asterisks add 50.
Which are these
Those will
right here?
change.
I thought
That was
all the
just
asterisks
these.
was added.
Grant, all the unfinished projects were brought back in for a total of this.
That's what I meant.
All these equal that.
That's gonna make that salary ordinance.
So they doubled up some of them. You guys ready? Mike says he's gonna take care of
Have that back. It's Mario's or somebody's.
Yeah, he's got notes.
Here, you gotta take copy of it. You gotta copy this.
Or if you want to ask,
You guys ready?
you just want to ask.
1 minute, I'm just about there.
Bill to
You're just gonna have to ask on this here, because I mean, it's gonna have to be amended.
Okay.
We can stay till midnight for a long term, but it's gonna get taken care of.
50 cents, right?
That's what it looks like.
How many trailers we still got down there? I've been down there for a while.
Not 2 minutes.
Amended and
We hope. Because
What are we gonna do about
Hi, Dan.
redevelopment if
Hi,
that money ain't
dude.
in there for any of
Dude.
those projects? That's only $1 million in there.
Which one do you want?
Yeah.
I don't know how
Ain't-
many we have.
I got
ain't gonna
5.
get you very far.
This is the one the mayor just handed out. It said we're going off of.
I think I know.
that's not in there.
On these line items,
The residential stuff.
where there's a generic number that covers 2 positions.
The catching thing is on here is that it is already
Does.
denoted.
I think it believes because we pay everything.
Everything out of that line.
Per,
item,
if I
including-
am,
Yep, that's what I
everything.
thought.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I needed to confirm. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Where did you see?
I thought there was one.
Quick question. These 2 positions here,
No, I think it's all communication with water and sewer.
There was one line item.
Do you just say in charge of?
But their salaries are 50 and 47, so 97 cents a difference. The benefits.
It includes all the benefits.
Here's, you got 3.
Did you see this?
I don't know.
look at mine.
I had,
What do you got? Which
I
one
pulled it
when
up.
you on?
Do I?
You got something different that day. Was it why's mine red and yours green on one?
split this, split that in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the differences between this and the one we agreed on last time, right? The city dots.
There might be a thing in here though, when she did that, because the police, well, I mean, when we went through there as far as on Mike's, they didn't.
No, these weren't in.
Oh yeah, it included them. It included them.
You know what I mean?
I looked at it. Yeah.
That's not.
That's why I wanted to have table and review. Because I caught that one mistake.
Yeah, there is an issue.
You just have to be amended.
I got that right here.
And believe me, we have reviewed
Right here.
Speedway sponsorship wasn't taken out.
went back up that night.
Speedway sponsorship wasn't taken out.
out.
Speedway sponsorship. I'm,
Today, trying to get it all done.
but it's coming out right.
That here, I think.
I mean, they can come back and ask. They asked us before.
Well, this right here, this city council, how it says 20.
Did you get this today?
Yeah.
On the first page of this one we had last time.
So what do you think I should do?
And what?
Dan and Eric.
I don't have a problem.
Speedway sponsorship is coming out.
You take that, I don't have a problem.
And that would be the first reading. That would be
Are
the
each,
second
are
reading.
each one of them included with the 50 cent skill?
Okay.
The skilled trade
Well, this
is
is,
not.
I mean,
when I
this is
read
the one
it,
we
I
had.
can just
That
read
I
is
can ask
correct,
like
but
this.
what I'm saying is, what happened, remember last meeting, I went upstairs and changed it.
Let me write this down.
I'm thinking the copy that I changed it from
I am
was
not.
did not have these orders. I changed those before.
All we just need to do is just amend it.
That page, that second page. Okay.
Yeah. All the others are all.
We'll just, yes, everything else is fine.
on there. I don't know where they went.
Fifty Creek was taken out.
Now, let's
Good
go
job.
back.
So we're just looking at the utility.
Well, no, we need to discuss the ordinance again.
Where's the,
And do the second and third reading.
What was the last four numbers on that, James?
I haven't had one in 6
Which
years.
one?
I don't have one right now.
25,000.
Let me squeeze through.
All the thing, 577.
Where is the, where are the people in?
Mike.
Go through them tonight. They're gonna vote on
Billing
them.
Okay, Grant, come here, honey.
Then the who?
The billing department. Where is it?
Okay,
The office
street
people?
improvements includes all
Their
these.
utility office?
You know what the hourly rates are for?
Yeah, but I have the ones when I went
Here, be careful with these. These are actually off concrete right away.
With the,
which is that right there.
skill trade,
This one,
2413?
count 5 down.
Now
That's,
we have to.
we left 1.5. Plus I have.
So I mean, the detective and the sergeant, that's
This
all
is
the
out,
same
right?
thing anyway.
No,
That's
it's
right
still,
there, and then.
It's not over here.
Yours I know is his, and then mine.
In ours, it's over
Is this
there.
one?
I mean, they're all
This one
okay
right
there.
here?
Where?
Ours
Two?
it's in, yours
This one
it's
right
out.
here too? 50
Reed's
cents.
is out, ours it's in.
Or is that right?
So that goes
Isn't
into
there
street improvements?
There's no skill trade as far as for the clerks?
Or she.
Do these projects, some of these projects.
I don't think it was in the
Decided to
appropriation.
move forward on.
Or do it?
Yeah, but we don't want to do that one. We want to
theirs
do
was
them,
20
them other ones.
22 something,
Okay, but
and
you
now
just
they're
have to
Yeah.
tell us which ones you
And I
want.
don't
You
know
don't want to
about
do Tanner's Creek.
Those are right.
Do you want to do
Okay.
these in here? These are not the these are not existing contracts. These are bleed new contracts.
These are all new in this line item.
Right, so there'd be $2 million in here to do these projects.
Do we get to choose what you do, or do they choose what you do?
Right now, you've
You're
said
buying
you would like to push the Tanner's Creek Drive back, so these other projects would come to the top and Tanner's Creek would go back.
I know the name, but I'm not
Wanna call
much
them
into
and say
music, so.
that.
I'm into working and going home just leaving.
All right, now where we at? Wait a minute, one more thing.
You're on the way home. But that was a
Mel
song
gave
that
me
you made.
Where's we
the
at?
ones, so when I read it, I can just
Park
read it
improvements.
with these true figures.
Where's park?
correct?
This is
when
all
does
this
this
right
goes
here.
I
500,000.
They do the whole thing?
think we have to do.
Well,
Ours are changed. Oh, they're just split.
Decide as we go which,
It's gonna be the 4570.
So, but I think we
Right,
should go
okay, they've
over
already did that on
decide as
here.
we go which is important.
what it is.
Yeah, she said they'd be coming down to that.
I
That'd be
have
just one.
mine, well, and I
Yep, because
have
see,
mine
it's
thing
5,
too,
5,
so.
50, 50.
Because
what
those
comes up to
we
half a
should
million.
make these like we
Aunt's
said,
cousin,
with the
Yeah.
kissing
parentheses
cousins,
by
yeah.
And we'll make sure that they're okay with
They already
that.
said that was,
7,
One more page.
because everything else is right.
She said that
So
her computer.
like I said, we can just read it.
What I say to do.
there's skill trade adjustment on
Right, but we have to, we can't just, we can either amend the ordinance,
Amend it.
Isn't there one on that?
amend it.
Yeah, they're agreeing.
The office manager?
Yeah.
We can't.
Jane agreeable.
We can't, that's no problem.
I thought it was like with a degree or whatever.
We can do that, that's no problem. That's a project.
Amend it and then read it.
Have all these been taken out but these three?
Amend it and read it is what they're saying. They'll be agreeable to that.
Out of yours, out of this,
Just
it's
agree.
so hard to,
Manager.
we have kept, you're keeping 60,
It's not.
you're keeping 80, and we're matching up with 80, ADA compliance.
Man, I don't know what whole craziness is here.
You good to go?
1 minute, I'm just about there, just about there.
Evidently not.
I had a question on this one, Grant.
Because at the time I was
One of got one.
Off-road concrete program. I don't see it on here anywhere.
It was, it's okay. Go back to here.
They're gonna make it one. It'll be 47, that's what Jane came
It
up with.
starts here.
718.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
718, that's what the Reeves have got on theirs.
Okay, that equals 1.
Right,
All right, I was just asking, because I
Okay,
didn't
we're good
know.
with that.
okay. But see, what happened was, that's 582. That's not 582. That's not part of 582.
I just put this one to the side.
It'll be another number. That's why I put it back here to be determined what that account number will be.
But it's for
For that,
The only ones that get 25 cents are the metering department, right?
That's what Mel said.
This is
And
one
then
I've
the
got
50
tonight.
cents
I went
goes
by
on
this, and I went by all the
remedial.
discussions we had last time. and I
50
threw all the
cents
other
goes
stuff
on
in there.
electrical, water and
Wave,
sewer, and
25,000.
remedial.
Okay.
And I got all
This is the kind of
No
stuff.
question about that. That's
This is
over there at
different.
the Tate Street Court.
Everything else I've got right here.
I'll get, I'll bet.
I don't know why, but you can do the motion
Wait a
to.
minute.
Senior housing
My
development.
land filed again.
Redevelopment on there.
Yeah, I mean,
Redevelopment on there.
Well, right, but
Discussion,
they are.
further discussion about, we'll have 2 million for projects. We'll sit down and have a discussion about it.
you bet.
For example, they want to move forward.
I apologize.
Then I didn't tell them it's my fault.
Across the street, turning lanes.
Styrofoam cup. Big numbers.
Get back and forward and bring it.
Yeah, and as we, well, go, yeah.
You right?
I was just gonna say, as we go, if we can get George Street
And I don't
basketball
know.
court, we'll do it, right? Different things that are at, as we go.
If we don't have it, we can always appropriate later.
And,
You're not gonna spend this whole budget. This is
Right.
guidelines.
right, and this is coming out, right?
What is it? I don't know.
It's not in here anywhere.
I didn't take it out.
It's not in, it's not in here.
It's in the union position, isn't it?
That was on
It's not in
last
this
meeting, though.
anywhere, is it?
Is it in the union position?
I didn't see it in there.
Ordinance for this?
Do what now?
It's not in
There
here.
has to be an ordinance.
Okay, we're good. If it's not in there, we're
No.
fine.
Isn't it? I don't think so.
Wow.
I
wasn't
didn't
in
see it.
Union thing. Yeah.
We'll work on that.
There's just a million in there.
You guys
They
ready?
didn't- They didn't pick any certain projects. or anything.
Doug, you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They just took it out and put a million in there.
Call this meeting back to session.
Can we read everybody's roll call again?
No, we don't need to. Everybody. You had a chance to go over to see additions, changes? Not the whole thing, hopefully.
No.
I'd like to call Mr. Reedy to the podium to address it.
Everyone should have a worksheet that looks like this. Handed it out before the meeting. And this worksheet, the first 3 columns are the clerk treasurer and Umball's work. And then the next to last column is an adjustment that we've put on there with a new number. So if I could, I'll just consolidate the comments in that column along with the changes that were just received, and I can explain those changes. The first change is in this administrative assistant, and these just simply agree to the salary ordinance. You have one position at $21.98 an hour, so you would need $45,718. There's $91,438 budgeted. So there's $45,720 more than the requirement for the salary ordinance. The next one down, you have city court wages, full-time clerical B. This one, you would pay 75% first 6 months, 90% next 6 months, full wages after 1 year. So we've gone through and done the arithmetic on that. You can reduce that line item by $8,945. Construction project manager, $1,402.81 a week. That calculates out to $72,946. So that can be reduced by $7,239. The next 2 that we have, there was some discussion. The $147,000 includes benefits. So we could either go one of 2 ways. We could either use the numbers that we have for the water and sewer maintenance line item and the water and sewer maintenance, the other line item. We could either keep those 2 numbers and add benefits, or just keep the $147,000. So to keep things moving, we'll just keep the $147,000. The engineering title, 15 code director, actually needs to be increased by $1,387.76 to $95,063. So that takes care of any changes that we've noted on the first page of the report.
Anybody have anything about the changes?
Dan, do you agree with that?
Just some clarification on how do you want to handle the utility maintenance employees, break it into 3 separate lines. But we do agree that the number needs to be 147,000.
Does it make any difference? I mean,
It's not difficult to put in the 3 lines, 2 salary lines and a benefit line. Comments from the clerk treasurer, Ross, what do you think?
We could leave it as one. They bill us quarterly for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it as one.
Like Mel has a input.
We either bill quarterly or we bill annually.
Okay. So for you, it's easier to do one line. That works for us.
Mr. Reedy, did
Yes.
you talk about the water and sewer maintenance with the DSL and WT3 license?
Where is that, Mike?
I think there was maybe a mistake in the union contract and it doesn't include a stipend that should be there. It's 135.
Yeah, what we have here is simply straight out of the salary ordinance and so it should be $23.55 per hour and the 50 cent stipend. So you run the math. I'd have to look at the union book to see if there's a.
No, that doesn't, okay. When they approached me today, what happened was at the end of the last meeting when we did the salary ordinance, there were, because we had needed to change the assistant police chief, the second page, I needed to change it from the 3008 to the 2958. That was decided at the last meeting. I had previously gone with, sat with utility accountant and gone through the electric department, the water department, and the metering department, the remedial department. The ones that are on the past salary ordinance do not have the 50 cents on there. And according to the State Board of Accounts, they have to actually be on the salary ordinance as with the 50-cent skilled trade adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
For that particular water and sewer maintenance with DSL and WT3 license, that should actually be, correct me if I'm wrong, Mel, but that should be, on the union contract was $24.40 an hour. And with the 50-cent skilled trade adjustment should be $24.90 an hour. I'm not sure where the 23.55 came from.
We'll check that. Bottom line on the appropriation, the 147 is what we're going to, the 147,000 is the number that we're keying on. So once we get to the salary ordinance, we just need to verify what Leslie just said and.
Yeah, I mean, those, and I apologize, there have been so many different versions of the salary ordinance. I think what happened was when I went upstairs and the salary ordinance that was actually saved on my flash drive did not reflect the raises on the utility departments.
Okay.
But.
Yeah, it's not just the maintenance.
We got all the, Mel gave me,
yeah,
Jimmy all the ones that.
Just so you know, it's not, it would not be the 28.55, it's actually 24.40 an hour according to the union contract. And with the skilled trade adjustment for that position was $24.90.
Okay.
But there's 3 135s, which the other 2 that you have, it's technically going to be the 147, correct? You have 135 3 times, but we're just going to make it.
Yes.
Utility maintenance employees.
The first
2,
one.
147.
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions on the first page?
Does anybody got anything about?
The administrative assistant, you only have 1.
Mm-hmm.
There is 2.
Who are they?
Connie and Brenda. They both get paid out of there. There's 2.
Okay.
So it does need to be there.
How come Dan's report didn't show that? Because that's where we got that information from Dan.
We had, Valerie changed it. We have 2. That's what Jackie had as well.
I'm gonna check that. So we can keep
And then
moving
as
on
far
for
as the
now.
construction project manager, the union contract is the $14.0281 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a projected change of $72.39. What's that from? I guess when you're basing it on yearly and not, okay.
What it is? Salary.
That's what it comes up to if you multiply it.
Yeah, the 1401 times 52 is gonna get you to 72,940.
Okay.
Correct.
That was the difference in the, okay, that's the only question I had.
I have another one.
You got another one?
The city court wages, you have the breakdown, which I know is in the contract now, the 75.
even at
She
that.
wouldn't fall under that.
Not gonna be
She's,
7.
has
She was
been
already
hired,
hired
she's
before
already
the
been
contract.
hired. She's already in the union making full wages, so there's no need for the breakdown.
That breakdown will start the first of this year.
She was hired under the old contract.
Everybody agree with that?
I mean, this one, the full-time clerical.
So that should be 45,719, correct?
Can I have?
If the 75% and the 90% doesn't apply.
So Teresa, what you're saying,
Hold
she
on,
was
Miss-
hired under last year's contract?
Yeah, she was hired, over the summer.
Yeah.
She's past the,
That doesn't start the first of this year.
Because that was on there, right?
no, that's Teresa. That's
Is this
the-
Teresa?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're talking about, Kristen. So
Oh,
she
okay.
would be all year. So that, we need to keep that 45,719, and then administrative aid needs to be two at 91,438, right? And then,
Somebody else see anything on there?
They had it
And
budgeted
you're
for-
saying that 9148 pays for Connie and Brenda's salaries?
there's two, yes.
Connie, you in agreement with that?
Why wouldn't you be? Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
I have a quick question for the clerk treasurer's office. On the,
Dan, would you speak in that microphone? Right there next to the, right there.
I'll share with him.
Okay.
It's easier to go.
just for clarification, for our purposes, I was under the impression that in the construction project manager line, that line included salaries and benefits. Is it, am I
That's just
correct in
salary.
that? That's
As
just
far- as
salary?
far as I know,
Okay.
I
So then
mean-
we can't, the adjustment that's in there is valid, but I was thinking that included employee benefits as well.
Those should be under like, per
Okay,
union
that's
pension,
fine.
things like, that's, I mean,
That's fine. Just wanted to make sure.
so are we going with the 80 then?
So really, the only items we have to adjust is construction project manager and then the engineering line item 136 and 134.
You get to adjust administrative assistants too.
Well, we're going to leave it at the 91,438.
So,
Okay.
I've zeroed that one out.
What was those two adjustments again?
The two adjustments that we'll keep are account number 284,000,134, construction project manager, will be 72,946. And then 284,000,136 will be 95,063. The rest of them will be as shown in the third column.
Anybody have any problems with that?
I won't have
And we're gonna keep the clerk, because she was hired under last year's union contract, at the 45,719.
My understanding.
That's salary only. I don't think there's benefits in that.
no, that's just the salary.
Leslie, in regards to the skilled trade adjustments on the part, that's not just going to affect the one that we've got here, it's got the others as far as on the record. Can we have those that's been brought up it's not included on the salary ordinance, or that's going to have to be
Amended.
modified?
It's gonna have to be amended. What you passed, the only change I intended to make was what we talked about with Mike.
Right.
And subject to appropriations.
Right.
That's the only thing that I changed that night. The copy that I had on my flash drive did not include this stuff in the utilities.
Well, I mean, just on record, as far as in salaries that the skilled trade is gonna have to be added to that's not in this salary ordinance. I mean, I think Mel and Bill went through and
Yeah.
had some that was there.
We,
And it's
I
not
have
only
those.
in.
We have those, but
I'm saying for the record, as far as
Wanna
what
read-
they are.
You want to read that over, Doug?
we'll
Just
do that in the salary ordinance. This right here is just for the 2 employees we pay for. The rest is covered by utilities.
We gotta do 2 more readings on that salary ordinance, Doug.
Okay, that's fine.
we'll-
Just as long as we've got it there, so we'll
Right.
have it all.
We'll have to
All
amend
right.
it first and then
That's
do
fine.
first,
But
second.
these is for them 2 employees.
Okay.
So why did we cut Mario and why are we cutting him?
We're not cutting them, the
They're not
math was wrong. Multiply that number. Mario's salary.
Oh, no, it comes up, yeah.
So I believe we're all in agreement on the first page.
I believe, 135 is that. That needs to be changed according to whatever the salary ordinance is amended
Which
to.
one?
135.
Okay.
28400.
Well, but for this report, we're just gonna keep it at 147, so the balance will just go to benefits. So in the clerk treasurer's bookkeeping system, it'll just be a line item of 147,000, is what we all just discussed, so.
Okay. Anybody else have anything for the first page?
No.
Moving on.
Page 2 of the Riverboat Fund, some of the second column over, some of adjustments. Some of this stuff was done at the workshop, others were done in the, within the city, I assume either by the mayor or clerk treasurer, and then Umball prepared the report that has the first 3 columns. Why I say that is you'll see several adjustments to the sum of adjustments column, so you can see, I assume everybody's had a chance to look these changes over. The only thing that we have different is 284000468, which is fire department equipment. The current amount is $300,000. There's $1 million in the non-reverting fund for the fire department. So our comment is, can that cash balance be used for the remaining $300,000?
We omitted that on our worksheet.
So it's just an opportunity.
Or 3, oh, that's for the truck, okay, all right, yeah. That's for the truck.
$1 million.
Right. That was half was gonna go to new trucks and half coming out of non-reverting, okay.
Yeah, that was half.
Okay.
So can we go ahead and admit that, Mayor?
We split it, half that comes for the fire truck, new fire truck. The reason the non-reverting fund was started out, in case they have, say they wreck a fire truck, it takes a year to get one, that pays for a new fire truck to come in service, things like that, plus equipment, overlays, things like that. That's a fund put back to subsidize.
And that's,
But they're gonna use $300,000 out of it to pay half the new fire truck.
I think Mr. Reed's question was, though, we already got $1 million, do we need to appropriate 300,000 more?
Well, you can take it out if you want to.
Bonnie, do you,
the count.
what's your opinion?
Oh, we got $1 million there. I mean, yeah, it's gonna bust us down to 400,000, but by the time we get a new one, I think we'll be fine.
Okay, we can admit it.
Can we agree to that?
Whatever you want to.
I don't have no problem, we admit it.
Okay, so we're gonna admit that.
As long as we don't break that fund, 'cause that fund has to be put back.
We're cutting 468 to 0.
Yes. And that's in recognition of the $1 million cash balance in the non-reverting fund. That's the only change that we have.
Anybody have anything else on that?
You didn't have it on 488 and 498?
That was done by the city administration.
Okay.
The 4 million each. I assume everybody's had a chance to look at the changes that are in the second column.
I'm okay with that.
Everybody else okay with it?
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Third sheet.
Third sheet, police tech equipment. 284,000,537. Been asked to add 50,000 to that.
We did, we added that back.
Okay,
Which
so we're
one?
good there.
537.
537 the top. What are you gonna do?
It's gonna be 150.
150.
Right on ours.
And then the mayor's assistant redevelopment director, that's just to agree to the salary ordinance. Nothing substantial, but that's what would agree to it.
Are you okay with that, Dan?
So it should be 82,560.
Mm-hmm. Then all the projects in green were reduced to 0.
Right. Well, now,
That's what you guys did, not us.
all of them went zeroed out.
Well, originally, on this it was, but then what you passed out tonight has $1 million in it.
This is all one line item, 284, 553. But you have, they only put,
So you want 1 million there
1 million.
instead of it completely zeroed out?
Had a different report.
Okay.
Can we,
It started at 11, went
Right.
to 5.5, and then we worked on the budget issues the last 5 days, and we've been able to maintain a mill in there and still meet the income side of total.
So we're gonna have to come back addressing this
But
through the year.
Yeah, there's gonna be some projects we're gonna be bringing back to you all and talk to.
are we okay with this?
I'm fine.
I think, Jane, what we need to know,
553.
Dan and I, and
553.
the clerk treasurer, is what line item to assign to.
They're all 5553.
I believe the line item will be 284,000,553.
right, with a
And then
million in
there's
it.
sub-account, 553.000, and then every redevelopment is a sub-account under that header. So it'll be the 284,000,553.
Good.
Can you give me that number so I can write it down, Dan?
284. 553.
They're all same.
Oh, they're all the same.
They sub under extension.
So that's $1 million addition for all the redevelopment projects.
Okay. Everybody all right with that?
So 553 is a million even then? Okay.
And then if we have projects, we can bring them back before council then?
Right.
Yes, they have to be
be
appropriated for
appropriate.
each certain project.
Mayor, that's it for page 3.
Fourth sheet,
Fourth sheet, Speedway sponsorship,
we eliminated that.
eliminated that one.
It's on here.
Well, he agreed to.
Oh, okay.
Take it off.
That will be coming out.
We're
Yeah.
making
Okay.
it 0.
Mm-hmm.
So that's,
Yeah, that one's 0. 577.
Right.
And then the Tanner's Creek turning lane improvement, 284,000,582. Council want to discuss that line item?
We would like to eliminate that, and Grant, would you please address that?
Which one?
We're back to Tanner's Creek, and where you said that some of these projects below would precede that.
You're under 582 street improvements?
Yeah.
Okay. 582 street improvements, you see those subcategories that list some projects. It was conveyed to me that council would like to see the turn lane for the shopping center push back and bring some of the residential projects up and work on those. That's something where the Board of Works and the council just had to get together and put a priority on it. The departments put a priority on it the way we saw it, but we'll just wait for direction from council and Board of Works.
Now, mind you, that is a high accident intersection. We're gonna have to address this, because there's been some people killed recently down there. That's something we're gonna have to look at, not just put on the back burner. I think it's important to leave it where it's at myself.
What's the total amount you're putting in the 582 then? Grant, what did you guys come up for 582?
It's got 2 million.
2 million.
I mean, could we
compromise, maybe cut that in half for?
I wouldn't advise, I mean, the thing about it is if we could handle some of those residential projects that you know, we need to sit down and figure out what residential projects you got. But, we need to address that turn lane either by the end of the year by going into engineering on it or something.
Well, that's what I suggested. You know, go towards engineering towards the end of the year, be prepared to start the project come spring of.
So, I mean, if we leave it at 2, we can work through it, but, I mean, in a sense, with you all getting together and forming consensus, it'll identify what the projects are. We'll go from there. And for a street project to be less than 2, I think it'll definitely hamper some of those. Mike, you want to add anything to that?
Like I say, I think everyone saw, we discussed it in great detail, the project list under the street improvement project heading. You see, and there was a list about this long. We've cut $500,000 out of that. Once we get a budget, then I guess my next step, I'm going to come back in front of Board of Works and say, okay, here was a project list. I need some direction. You know, I may have some priority projects, but it's going to be up to them to direct me on which ones to go ahead and take off with and start design, bid package, the whole nine yards.
Improvements, is that 2 million in your budget?
Right.
And what's the proposed?
Can we go ahead and compromise at $1 million and then we will appropriate as needed?
Why would we do that, Jay?
I don't want to hamper that project. I tell you, that's a very bad intersection.
I just don't understand the reasoning behind that.
And we're all end up in a lawsuit before it's over with that intersection. We're going to do something with it. Go ahead, Mike.
Just to bring it to the board's attention, the last accident we had at that intersection turned out to be a double fatal. So it is a very bad intersection. Just to make you guys aware, it was a double fatal. We had the lady die the day after the accident, and then the other lady in the accident just died this week. So it is a bad intersection, just to make the board aware.
I think it needs addressed. I really do.
What if we? What is the as far as the state? What are they putting into this? This is a state highway.
The road's not. That's ours.
South Tanner's Creek Drive.
This is off of 50. This is Tanner's
We
Drive.
turn it into.
It's a state intersection though.
Off the road is.
It's
on Tanner. It's not on 50.
Just in NDOT right of way, Doug.
The accident you're referring to was on US 50.
Tanner's Creek, yes.
But where was that car coming from?
One car was coming on 50, the other one was turning onto Tanner's Creek there at that intersection.
So it happened on 50.
US 50
So
state
Tanner's
road.
Creek turn lane wouldn't have mattered for that accident.
No.
Not necessarily, no.
Because they wasn't coming off of Tanner's Creek.
But my question is, on this intersection, how much is the state of Indiana going to contribute to this project?
Zero.
How much does the state of Indiana contribute to all the other projects and throughout the state and intersection development?
Off their right of way? Zero.
No, I mean, as far as, you know.
I mean, the state's not going to put their money
in our project.
Oh, I understand it, and I'm not totally against the improvement on this intersection. It is a very busy intersection, and with future growth there and such, it needs to be addressed and all. But, you know, if we didn't have $1 million to do that, what would we do?
Mayor, I'll get by with whatever I'm given. My answer is absolutely not. I know it's been brought up about addressing some of the other residential areas and projects. We're addressing them.
Well, because this confused me talking to Grant today, though. The streets that have been bid and awarded, which I think was like Meyerfield, Copes, Crossbow, he said that those are in unfinished projects. But they're listed here, so.
Yeah, but they're again, what they've got, how they have it broke down is not how.
But I mean, when I got this list, it was from
I understand.
their numbers, my understanding. So I mean, that's what I'm looking at.
Those were two. That was the streets and the off right of way concrete that is either been started, but at least all of them that are under contract. those were areas that we knew we couldn't cut in, no matter what, and they are addressed in this budget.
Well, do you have estimates, engineering estimates or anything on that project?
On which one?
Tanner's Creek.
I have to have authorization to do it, Mike. I gotta have something in a budget before so no, I don't have anything. I have some guesstimates just from open discussion.
How about cut it down to $1.5 million?
I got a question.
I need compromise at 1.5, drop 500,000, and I still am going to say the same thing I did a year ago. If for some reason got to look at additional appropriation, that option is always open if necessary.
Yeah, at least have the appropriation for design and engineering for an estimate.
That gets us started. We're gonna have to do some of that intersection.
Mayor, may I ask a question?
Go ahead.
We got in line item 459 unfinished projects, $1,207,200. So is that included in this?
What item you got?
Street improvement projects that are currently under contract.
Does it include Mar Road down?
Well, I'm not, and I don't have that paperwork, James, so I'm not sure.
Do you need this
to
do? That's what you gave to us.
There, I mean, there's unfinished business. Mike. What's on that project list? That is what is included on line item 459.
Okay, because now on 459, it doesn't list Crossbow,
That's
Coke.
because those are not street improvement projects, that's off right-of-way concrete.
So those streets aren't getting done. I thought Meyerfield was. Oh, it's on here, okay.
Mike, look at the last page on the budget that you were given tonight. It's got the off right-of-way concrete program, and it's got the contract dollar amount for all of those areas.
Okay. Because I don't want any, any jobs that's been bid and awarded, I don't want anybody to lose the job.
Yeah, we're legally bound and committed to that, so those were areas that had to be addressed.
Okay, now let me understand this. The 582 is in unfinished projects.
No. 582 are 2013 proposed projects.
Proposed projects.
Those are the street projects that we spent 4 hours in here on at that work session.
Well, not quite 4 hours on that.
That must have been the one I missed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I did too.
It was an hour.
I'm guilty too.
So those are all proposed projects, and what, in the unfinished projects at 1.2 mil are the streets that we've already.
Those are under contract. Yes.
Okay.
We're committed to that.
So I'm looking at Reedy's now. From Reedy's, where do I go to on yours to find what I'm looking for there?
Under 582.
It's same number.
It's 2 million.
So the mayor made a suggestion of compromising at 1.5 million.
We'll go 1.5. If you run into something, you can come back to council and reappropriate.
1.5 on what though? 582?
Yeah.
Yes. We have to do something.
Okay, that's under street improvements.
1.5.
All right, I got it.
25. Got it.
So 582 is 1.5 million. Correct?
Is that in agreement then?
Is everybody in agreement with that? Or?
I'm okay with it.
Mike, that's a line item order? 582?
582.
I mean, yeah, I'm not in agreement, but I don't vote, guys.
Okay, we'll take that down to $1.5 million. Guys, I can remember we talked about $1,000, not $1 million in the city.
$583 totals 500,000. Anybody have any questions on the green area?
That's what we have in ours too.
That's it for page 4, Mayor.
Well, for 583, we got 500,000, that's what you got too, Mr. Reedy?
Yes, that's what 275, 175, and 50 equals.
Can I ask a question on that? Because I noticed, which I think everybody agree, the Boy Scout cabin needs to be taken care of.
That's in there.
Why the fairgrounds restroom and storage building over the football field rehab? Just because I've been hearing about that for a couple years. Thing like.
The restroom's a new project.
That's where in the
And
front
the
of
building is for the racetrack, build a pole barn, put his equipment in, because we're running out of room in the maintenance garage.
Motorcycle track.
Yeah, the motorcycle track, yes. Yeah. And we're running out of room in the maintenance shop over to park the trucks inside, or park them outside now. We can do that pretty reasonable to take care of that. But the new restroom is for,
the front part of the fairgrounds.
front part of the fairgrounds, yeah, and it's been needed for years. And we're gonna heat it, leave it open year round, so people that walk for picnics through the winter, but some do.
Okay, on somewhere in here, I thought. Okay, that's my only question.
Okay.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
We had the dog park sign. I know we had like 2,000 in there, and I'm sure that we can get a sign for, I would hope 500 or under.
Oh, I'm sure they can.
We did ask to put that back in there.
Because Lee was here, and if she were here right now, she would be on everyone's butts,
Yes.
but.
I
We
made
did promise to put a sign up.
I made contact with Valerie, but she never got it to Mr.
Can that
Reedy
be
in
done
time.
out of park improvements?
Sure.
Out of that line item?
Sure.
So we really don't have to add it back in, we'll just
No,
take
we
it out
can
of
do
park.
it out of park
All right.
I thought we were talking about.
By the way, let's get on that.
We need to make sure that's.
I know, I said it too.
Okay. Once this gets done, let's get on,
Get that sign ordered.
She's been waiting quite a while.
Since we're talking about sign, what about the signs for the Little League field for, Louis and, Hawkins?
We're still on hold. We gotta have this before we can do anything.
But I mean, is that
It's in
in the park improvement or?
Come out parks maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, that park improvement line, if you remember, at the work session, the whole list was approved. There was approximately $959,000 worth of parks projects. That has been cut down to $500,000. Parks Committee's gonna have to give some direction on which projects they wanna prioritize.
Right, and we still may reappropriate more money to finish it all.
There's also a maintenance line
Park
item
maintenance, yeah.
too.
But the park improvements had some items such as some pool renovation stuff that you had okayed too.
And how much was in the maintenance line item for parks? Million? Yeah.
So we've got $1 million to fall back.
There's money there to take care
So
of.
the pool rehab will happen if it needs to happen.
Right. But we just kinda held everything, not knowing what the commitments were gonna be.
Yeah, instead of having multiple lines that do the same thing, we don't have each of those spelled out. There were a couple lines for pool supplies. Well, that's part of parks maintenance. Those
Right.
will come out of that. I mean,
Right.
since in having 5 different lines, we have one plus the non-reverting.
I agree totally.
Take care of all of it.
Okay.
So 583 is 500,000, right?
That stays the same.
Okay.
What page you on now, 5?
Yes, 5. I don't have, the only thing that's new on my report would be the line item 284001 on Grant's page, the off RW concrete program, 1,494,600.
That's currently contracted amount. That's one that we have to keep and maintain at that dollar. Contracts.
What's that line item again?
On Grant's page, it's
To be determined.
To
Don't
be-
have a
needs
number
to
yet.
be determined.
Oh, okay.
And Mike, that's the one report that you gave here on the off-road for Bilby Road, Dowdy, Meyer,
Right.
Meyerfield, Coax, and Crossbow?
That's that line.
Okay.
Okay, any more?
Not on Riverboat.
What about the alley that I brought up at the last meeting or meeting before where water is soaking into the businesses because of the road, now it's zero?
That's under the storm sewer line item.
Okay.
Off of Main Street you're talking about?
Under here it's Seagram's Alley, I believe.
That falls under the storm.
Okay, you on development fund now? So we moving to?
31 to 280. Can we make sure we're right on 284
Okay.
first?
All right.
So Riverboat secretaries, that's gonna stay 91, 438.
Yes.
126 court wages is gonna be 45, 719.
Yes.
Construction managers going to 72, 946.
Yes.
136 project manager is gonna be 95, 063.
Mm-hmm.
468 fire department equipment, we're cutting to 0.
Yes.
488 and 499, the maintenance funds are gonna be $1 million each.
Yes.
Police tech equipment is 150,000, it's 537.
Yes.
Mayor's assistant, 552 is 82, 560.
Yes.
Redevelopment, 553 is $1 million.
Yes.
Speedway sponsorship, is that 0?
Yes.
Okay, 577. Street improvements, we're cutting to 1.5.
Yes.
Park improvements is 500,000.
Yes.
That's it, no other changes?
I'd like to ask a couple questions.
Go ahead.
586 Hollywood Gate at East High and William, $30,000. What is that for?
That's for design and permitting. It's the gates and goes back to the chicken shack. The railroad's gonna do away with the one crossing for that gate. We're gonna make some improvements to that. And that's not for a project this year. It's just to get the design and hopefully get the permitting with the court taken care of.
Mike, that was a project, joint effort between the Conservancy District and Lawrenceburg. 2 years ago, I guess we started that evening. This just puts us in the consultant phase of the.
But the project on that part wouldn't be taking place this year at all then? Just the designing and...
Conservancy's done some design work. We've got a roadway to put into that, and I don't know how far, we haven't met yet with Conservancy where they're at with their feedback with it yet, but it's
Eric.
gonna be a long process.
I mean, my feeling on that,
You can
you know,
forget that.
we're sitting here approving $30,000 that's never been discussed with us, you know, is that something that, you know, the council wants to move forward on? Another one, because I've been involved in no discussion about the senior housing development, $250,000, which is 421.
So are we keeping the 486, 586, or we don't know yet?
Well, I'll just bring it up for people to think about.
We talked about that at the last meeting.
Right.
Which one?
Senior housing.
Okay. Sorry I couldn't be here.
Talked about all of them.
What's your question on, Mike?
Just, I hadn't heard anything about it, just curious what it's about. But I mean, if you guys had discussion and everybody was in agreement.
Yeah,
Because I missed that.
What is...
Speed on?
Do what?
I think it's basically a ballpark to take care of any maintenance, administration of, just the operations end, And there again, that was a budget number. I don't know if we have the exact dollar amount, because it's handled in numerous different areas right now. With some of our own people do some of it. We have
Now, what facilities?
Ray doing the administration of
Is this
it.
just for the one facility over here?
Correct.
Yeah, the one on,
This doesn't have anything to do with the trailer court?
No.
No.
At all?
No, this is our facility.
that's a senior building over on.
Man, that's a lot of maintenance.
Well, there again, just that number's there. I'm not sure exactly what it is. We don't have a real good handle.
Does anybody know what we spent last year?
It won't be that much,
No,
Mike.
it won't spend all,
but-
some of that's the pay to operate, we pay ARA to operate. Some of it's the maintenance, outside maintenance does, like,
But there again, that's
Heating, cooling,
more
stuff
than
like
what it'll cost. It's just when you don't have all the figures put together, you use a conservative number, and that's basically all that is.
That,
This will be our first year going in, if we take it back to do anything ourselves.
that was my two questions.
okay,
That number would change, we'd have a better grasp for next year's budget.
they won't spend that money from time.
I
Well-
was just curious what it was last year.
Question then, I guess it's not on subject, but as far as the property down here that's being cleared off and all, is there plans for that?
Redevelopment.
There's no redevelopment. We'll bring it back to council when we've got the plan put together.
There's been no definite plans or anything, though.
That's
'Cause
something.
I would really like to see something to do with the sports complex. That would be, you want to talk about foot traffic and soccer and indoor soccer and things like that, that would be a very good location for that.
Oh, you're talking about the trailer park location?
Yeah. Because, I mean, I've talked like Soccer City and all these other, they talk about flag football, all the other different activities that go on, and they're busting at the seams in these places, and there's so many teams from this Lawrenceburg area that go up there that it could really be a big boost, especially with all the sports complexes down there anyway.
I think everybody knows that I'm in favor of the sports complex.
But I mean, what is there, like 4 acres there for that? Around 4 acres?
Now, are you at the trailer park or are you
Yeah.
at the fairgrounds?
He's talking about the trailer park.
Is that the best use for it in town like
It's a type
that?
4.
What about over the
You
fairground?
have to consume that parking lot.
I've talked to some people that's got some stuff, and they said that these complexes up here are a lot less than what they've got there, and said they,
Yeah, we'd have to look at it and see. Really, redevelopment had focused in on some more senior housing in that area because
You got the amenities.
of the amenities that are around there.
As if you remember the McAbcore property I passed out where they sent me a letter. I know that was one of the things that
okay.
Grant put
Well, I
on the
mean,
list.
just some sports I mean, everybody's talking about soccer and all
big
this
is
other
that
stuff. I mean, that's.
How big is that one on 128, Mike?
Huh?
How big is
Yeah.
that one on 128, you know?
I don't think they.
It's bigger than what the footprint is down.
I would say there might be 5 acres there if I was guessing at that
It's
facility.
bigger than what the footprint of the trailer.
Biggest thing is parking.
Well, I think one of the things that throw you off down there versus there you got a square piece of land where that's kind of
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to come back to you anyway. to discuss
Well, I
it
mean,
on
just something for that, because I mean, there's several people in the city that's talking about that.
Redevelopment can look at that.
Right.
because I think the indoor sports complex will bring a lot of revenue to the city for restaurants, gas stations, tournaments, hotels.
I know when I leave the one over there in Cleves, I stop at the gas station and restaurants and stuff.
Yeah. You playing indoor soccer, the kids are?
My son does, yeah.
Yeah.
My granddaughter plays there too.
Okay.
All right, my 2 cents.
Everybody done with that report? Gonna move on to the municipal development fund. Which one do you wanna go to?
Can I ask one question
Go ahead.
before we even start on? Because I know that we passed, all the true-up money goes in riverboat and stuff, so does this MDF fund here need to be changed or to riverboat or?
What's that?
Because we had passed that the true-up money, and I don't know if there's any other funds, goes into riverboat instead of MDF, just like basically our ordinance says. So does that affect this year? Do we need to Does this need to be moved over to Riverboat?
I think Riverboat used to fund this, didn't it?
So I just want to make sure that that's covered.
Mike, MDF should start out the year with 43 million and receive 8 million with the monthly.
Okay, so there's
fee that it
plenty in there.
receives. So there's enough to.
Okay, that was,
We're showing it should have 28 million at the end of the year.
Okay.
With this spending plan.
I just wanted to ask that question before we even got started. Thank you.
Okay.
Mayor, on MDF, I only show two adjustments. And I was just told on the adult center to leave it at 45,000, so it should agree to Grant's report that he handed out. And then Dearborn County Schools, 515, keep it at 2 million. And then 554, the Grant Sewer Project, has a reduction. The new number is 2,450,000. So Grant's number should be correct, the 21,820,049.
What was the Grant Sewer Project, what'd they go to?
2.45 million.
2.45.
And then the remainder of that will be funded next year? Is that?
Right.
Is that
I talked to Mayor Rohr, he said it's fine, because they're not probably gonna get started in the year anyway.
Okay.
Oh, okay. But that was that grant that we had, dealt with Aurora on then.
Right.
So they're just gonna get half and then half, okay.
He said it'd be fine, said it'd be later on in the year before they get started on the thing anyway.
Okay.
And then the schools are gonna go back up to 2 million, right?
Right.
In regards to that, and what we don't know what the future is going to be as far as in the riverboat, do we need this, as far as addressed this to Leslie, do we need to do something as far as to the schools to let them know that if there's a decrease in the riverboat funding, that there's going to be a decrease in the funding as far as school-wise instead of expecting this $2 million yearly?
Well, I mean, I think Mr. Gailey was here, at least from Lawrenceburg, the other night, and knew, and we talked about, you know,
Well, just to give them a heads up as far as.
Just kind of give them a courtesy letter to, just in case, don't be in shock.
Yeah.
So we're budgeting that for this year, but you're just saying
For the future,
Yeah.
to be prepared if that was the case.
521 or the?
515. Myself was on city council, we started this, and we told them when the revenue starts going down, this would be cuts down too.
Right.
So they're aware of it.
But
We'll
just
send a letter to them.
Yeah, just
stating
to
that.
basically give them a heads up that.
But guys, if I gotta cut my emergency service,
I
my
agree.
town, we're gonna cut some of them too.
I agree.
That was my whole point too, and we shouldn't be sponsoring Speedway. You know, that was one of my things, right?
Lawrenceburg, South Dearborn, who's it all include?
St. Lawrence and Sunman.
So has anybody done the math with the changes?
St. Lawrence and Sunman.
I have, I was gonna see it.
One to,
Paige agreed with me.
St. Lawrence.
I've got,
also
Wait a minute, Dan, or-
go ahead.
also that should, there should be a notice going out to, on account 361 Franklin County.
Right.
Yes.
That's
What
something-
kind of notice are they getting?
Will they get a notice now?
That their revenue might go down or
Revenue's going down.
away.
Ours goes down, everybody else is going down too.
Right.
I'm sorry, will you enlighten me on what that line item is, please?
361.
Yes, I understand, but what is that?
That's, Franklin County gets $500,000 a year.
Franklin County
The agreement
redevelopment.
was based on, if at the revenues, levels at 2006. So if we deviate from that, at this time, we're not for 2012.
But just to let them know that
Let
that's
them know
possible.
that there could be an impact.
We can do that.
Let's have a 5-minute recess.
Good job, Aaron. Good job, Bill.
We're moving.
Great job, Leslie.
You guys get a,
James,
What you're gonna have to do.
Where's the love?
I thought they were talking about the school. I thought they were saying they were cutting the school.
had to throw it
$1
out.
million.
Sorry.
That's what I was like, then I. 'Cause I'm not looking, I'm not looking at theirs. I'm looking at theirs. That's the one I'm going.
Just saying it's gonna be adjusted.
Okay. All right, let's just.
Yeah, that was my fault, and I took the fall for
I quit looking at this one when they had this all messed up, when they put positions and.
Oh, I will.
Say it with me. Say it loud, say it loud.
No, we're just gonna offer the amendment. If they agree to the amendment, we have to do it for a second, third reading. But if he agrees to the amendment too, y'all pass it unanimously, I don't think we need a second, third. It's gonna take a while for her to.
She's in Florida.
I was like, hell no, we're not rehashing what we did on the 17th.
I know.
I was like, well, you're my fault that you weren't there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That was 3.8 hours. He said
What's your dad think about not being here? Relaxing?
It's still stressful. You know, he's dealt with all that mental work stuff. We need to have an executive session here.
What happened? Is that done? In the court? Is it done?
They found it for them. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, 2.5.
I didn't know.
But we need to have an executive session. Will Thursday or Monday work better for you? I won't. I got a minute right here.
Monday, probably.
Monday before the
I'm
council
on that
meeting.
school committee too, and it's on Thursday, I believe.
Okay. Well, we'll just ask that.
I forgot about that.
You guys make an executive session on Monday before the meetings?
I don't know any reason.
Attorney for Middle Earth.
Okay.
We need to decide what we want to do as far as any kind of appeal.
Okay. I was going to bring up on record emergency rescue. Everybody agreed to do it earlier, but I was going to bring it up about cutting that to 30,000 from 60.
What time?
Well, it's our regular meeting's at 6, so we'll say 5. We'll say 5. That way we can have a little break before the council meeting. But we talked to the attorney today, and he's going to be here, and it's going to be coming from him who tried the case, and he's got some recommendations, and then we need to make decisions because we only have 30 days if we're going to appeal. So.
Is that Boyles?
No, it's going to be Mr. Leptat.
Oh.
Ed was the main counsel on that. He's a good guy. I like him a lot.
I might know one of them. So when I want to kill these
Do you think he'll pass this time?
June, Grant's going to start working on that.
We amended. We passed effectively a new ordinance. If we all four pass it, then we only have to read it.
But I mean, as far as all the amendments, I mean, he's got all those there. We don't miss anything.
No.
What line item is that, Dan?
And like I said, I know.
And that's what it's for.
Oh, I know. It's been.
Then over the weekend, my damn computer crashed.
My printer crashed. I mean, I ain't got it fixed.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
You can find out
I don't know
where that goes.
I have no laptop right now.
You've already got a line item for it, though.
I was going to bring up, so it's on the record, about his line item, about it cutting to 30. I forgot to bring it up where it's on record.
I know at the top it's like this.
I called them guys.
Well, we'll just ask Dan about it.
Okay. Just so to make sure who does the corrections that it's.
Well, where's it go?
Okay.
I told him to add to the Hutchinson roofing.
Well, I'll just if you just address that and find out what needs to be done to it. If it needs a line item,
Find out what's in it. How much is in it?
Well, I know, but that was per.
So you should be good then for 14.
They're supposed to take off.
What's that?
Just put a convention up there until we're done with the building.
Who? What's he talking about?
He said unless we spend it.
No, we ain't spending it.
My recollection.
I got something to give to you after we get done. I got something to give to you after we get done.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's something not related to all this, but.
Okay. Oh, we'll get to it.
I think it was good.
Huh?
I think it was good.
Yeah, it's working all right.
Now Leslie's gonna offer a amendment to include this. These will be the two.
I'll just wait until somebody types it up. I got so many numbers running across me. I'm like,
I feel like one of those down stickers.
Can you put them on this one here then? The numbers you're talking about?
I feel like I got a virus.
Yeah, I got a dime.
I got computer virus.
I've got to see a sports complex over at Bergen. That's not really suitable land for that.
It's what?
I'd rather see a sports complex Bergen.
Well, I didn't know what was planned over there. Everybody's talking about a sports complex.
We need some senior housing.
Well, that's fine, but I didn't know what the plans were to begin. So would that sports complex.
Bergen, like sports.
It's terrible.
The property's talking about.
We drank it. Or I drank it, I should say. They didn't drink it, I drank it.
2007, we offered $600,000.
Oh, for that land?
You know what I told them? That's what two fools met. We offered it and you didn't take it.
Now they want 7.
One time we won $1 million, $912,000.
At one time, I offered 500 for it. Building.
Yeah, I remember that you did.
Where you at?
Turn that.
160?
That's been a good spot for you.
Yeah, for my business, that's been
excellent.
The best spot.
Yeah.
Goes with the racetrack.
Hell, they had any problem with trailers or anything like that, they'd be pulling them right over there.
No.
Right. About ready to get going?
Yes.
Let's get going. Bill Bell. Jane, you ready?
Where'd you go, Mario?
Hurry up. Let's get this moving.
You got a nice tan.
Yeah, I worked on it. It's a special lotion.
I know, but that's the
not anything. This is for
That was the.
Hey, Dan.
Hold on.
Yeah,
You need to get a man's phone.
I get gas if I'm out. If I'm here, I get gas.
Look, this teenage.
That Kroger right there.
The slider?
Yeah. We usually don't. If we're up there, we'll get it.
So,
I'm just not for it.
Let me see that. That's the notice. Let me see it.
you may make no break. Cover protectors Come on, Carly, show.
We have to have. We can do it the next Friday.
He put it away, didn't he?
And I'm in there. I said I'm in there.
But the ordinance. Why are you throwing stuff out?
Okay, we ready?
No, one question.
2.5 hours. Thursday, trying to Monday with it.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
No, it ain't here, right?
Sprint, I gave it up.
That position.
Office managers.
You talking about this
But we
line
need a total
160?
on what we got here.
Making more money than
This doesn't say officer manager.
I know, but that's what the rate of pay equals out to, because I didn't calculate it.
It should be according to the union though. What's their rate? What should you be making?
21 something.
Well, they're different then.
I don't know. I haven't had time to actually put a calculation of that figure, but I have the other figure that when they.
Yeah, whatever. Just give me your copy and he can just write them down like I did.
That's not right.
This doesn't.
Well, the salary order?
Yeah.
I didn't bring it.
That's right. It'd be another 100,000.
It wasn't in here. And I didn't bring mine.
Divided by 52 and about 40.
Yeah, because I didn't bring mine.
Pass all the numbers tonight. That way, but we need more.
That's not fair to
What's her name?
these secretaries that's been there for years.
You mean two on the salary order?
What's her name?
do this, you do that. I know. I'll openly admit, I do not touch like an 18-year-old.
I don't mean. They did break it down.
They can create the numbers, and then we'll do an official ordinance.
Yeah, I figured that it would just, with everything, and she would fix it, everything with corrections, and then.
Okay.
We advertised, it's been advertised, but
We're gonna have to do a separate ordinance.
we have to do the ordinance with the right numbers.
Yeah, because as long as you're decreasing it, we don't have to re-advertise.
You want to prepare the ordinance? You want me
But we
to?
added some too. We added some too.
Yeah, but it's still less number. As long as it's less number.
That's in the same.
Dan,
You're fine, because the totals is still, I mean, those major budget categories
They're all in the same.
are all gonna be less than. Yeah, but we had to do another ordinance, so don't we?
I'm at 2354. Remember,
Well,
I'm
you're
25
amending the
higher
one that we have got, because
using
that one
grants.
total, the number, the whole number is there, it's just putting the skilled
Okay.
trade in.
Well, it's gotta make the ordinance, so we don't have to re-advertise for it.
Okay, we can vote to accept this
As discussed.
as discussed, and we'll do an ordinance later. You gotta hold the
So we'll
public hearing.
just stay with that. We'll just find a plug.
Here we are noticed for that.
What if you got this one by chance? Through 585?
Public hearing on
All
what?
right. There's a
He
577
has to
Speedway
actually say he opens
sponsorship.
the public hearing.
Just
Oh,
like
for the,
25.
okay.
It's 577.
we've advertised it.
Well, that's where it is.
Yeah, but he hasn't called the public hearing
Should be taken
open,
out, 'cause they
as far
took
as
it out.
comments from the public.
Right, right.
I'll do it.
So I'm gonna take it out.
And what he's saying is we can pass the numbers tonight.
Right.
And then the specific ordinance, I'll prepare, and I'll attach what.
And we can pass it Monday night, or-
And that can be for the first meeting on February. Okay.
I recycle.
Ready to get back to session?
That's right.
20,
Doug, you ready?
Yes, sir.
29,
Call us back to
365.
session.
Mayor, if I could, something we had discussed back and forth earlier here in the meeting, but I want to bring up on record and make sure that it was gotten, was 527, emergency rescue equipment, about cutting that from 60,000 to 30,000, and Bobby Mills said that is fine.
What number was that, Mike?
527.
So we're cutting 60 to 30.
Because he had 60 in per run, for part-time, and
What do you want that
And
at,
for-
Mike?
That's equipment.
What do you want that at? 30?
527, yeah,
Is now
That's
30?
equipment.
change it to 30.
His wages are over here.
Yeah, but when he put in 60, it was for both. and-
Okay, gotcha. So
Everybody in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yes.
And you're okay with that?
Which line? I'm sorry.
527.
527 on
Yeah,
Riverboat.
Riverboat.
Yeah.
527.
Okay, back to your.
60 to 30.
And you wanted to, I heard during the break, the adult center, the 15,000.
I would like to award an extra $15,000 to the Dearborn Adult Center for our
I don't have no
seniors.
problem with that, like seniors deserve it.
Are we on MDF now, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that.
With that 60,000?
From 45 to 60. Anybody else have a problem?
This is MDF 311, right?
311.
You're gonna make that 60,000.
That's not to say that, we can continue to do that year after year like we've discussed with other things, but
But in the same boat.
today I think we can.
Okay.
Mayor, I think Bobby had something.
Bob, could you talk to the microphone, because they can't, we gotta tape this.
I just want to show for the record, where Mike brought up about changing that line item 527 from 60 to 30, and we mentioned about the part-time. Just record show that line item 127 shows my LERU part-time wages, which is 30,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Just,
What happened to you guys' microphone over there?
this is it. They stole it from us.
We're going to have to put another one over there.
I agree.
Can we get another one put over there?
When I read it, I gotta read it. I have to read it this way, like them rates, that's what we're now.
Okay, where we at?
We're on MDF, so.
I think everything's been agreed upon.
Did everybody agree to the 15?
Yes.
I think we're ready for grand totals.
That would be good.
You got grand total?
We agree on Riverboat. I think Paige is agreeing with MDF. Okay, go ahead, Dan.
The clerk treasurer asked me to address the council about line item 280001560, the clerk treasurer clerical position. We understand that that will not be part of the budget that is passed tonight, but like the council to expect an additional appropriation request along with the job description for that position for your consideration at an upcoming meeting as soon as it can be properly advertised. So we'll be happy to entertain any questions about that position and that job description. We'll try to get that out to you in advance so that we can talk about it during a meeting. That's all.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
And I'm working off of Grant's worksheet. The MDF budget from Grant's totals on the back, you would simply have to add 15,000. So it would be $21,835,049. 21,835,049.
21,835,049.
Which one was that?
MDF.
That's MDF. And Riverboat is 20,299,365. And both myself and the folks at Umball agree on that.
299?
Yes,
299,365. 299,365.
That gives you a grand total of 42,134,414, which is a balanced budget with just a little bit of surplus. So.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, probably this all won't get spent.
No.
Okay.
But in with this budget, I mean, we started out with what? I mean, a total of 60-some thousand or 60-some $million, and it's down to 42. I mean, I think that's being responsible.
I would like to thank everybody that's worked on it.
There's been a lot of work has went into it, and tonight has went
Yes, sir.
very smooth, and I appreciate it
We did
very
put
much.
a lot of time in this. You guys did too.
I would like to thank the mayor for being, working with us on this. I especially like to thank Grant Hughes for helping us with this and working together. Both sets of financial advisors have been excellent. We've received paperwork from both ends, and I think it just shows that we can and will continue to work together. So thank everybody. And thank Leslie, too. Leslie was wonderful when it came to getting those numbers to match.
For my part, I want to thank the departments.
Yes, they were. They cut some things they didn't want to cut, but we made them.
I think it's great.
Now I need a vote to entertain a motion to accept as is, but we're going to have to do a ordinance later on, next meeting.
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the MDF budget and Riverboat budget as given, as the MDF being the $21,835,049 and the Riverboat budget being $20,299,365 for a total grand total of the two budgets of $42,134,414.
Before we second, do we have to open the public hearing first? Or?
Well, I'm gonna have to do the audience.
This motion doesn't set the budget. It's
Okay.
essentially giving us the instruction of what the ordinance is.
Okay, I'll second it.
I'm opening it up to public hearing. Here, say your second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
And we will have the ordinance ready for the February 4th meeting to pass. Mr. Hedden is going to get the corrected worksheets, and we will attach that as exhibits to the ordinance.
Now I'm gonna open this public hearing up to the public. Any comment? Hearing none. Moving on.
So with that being said, we can put the new budgets in the system, process like normal, not release until we're back to normal. You know, Jane comes, checks claims, we'll have the ordinance at the next meeting, and approve the claims at the next meeting.
Dan, what about the essentials?
Well, it's my understanding just that you're just about the budget.
So I can go ahead, but can I release those checks?
We have a motion for that,
Yeah, there's a
Right.
few essentials.
like insurance and
I have a list.
ARA.
Give out.
Is there any processing those claims? I mean, what we're talking about now is attaching the detail to the ordinance.
These are just essentials.
I don't have any problem with it either. I would have had the ordinance, but we would have had to change the ordinance based on the discussions tonight.
These are basic needs, aren't they?
I think everyone's in agreement that processing your essentials in this small window between now and signature is fine. When is your next meeting?
next Monday.
4th, right?
4th?
Is that correct? Is
Yeah.
that the right date?
Yeah, Monday.
Monday.
So you'll have the formal documents ready for your signature for that meeting. Is that okay with everyone?
So this is it,
Sorry.
Suzanne, I've got it right
That is
here,
the
so I don't
4th.
have to go over and review.
4th.
And just to make sure we're all on the same page, I'm gonna go ahead and cut those and release them.
Yes.
Okay, no more new business? Moving on to old business?
Mayor, I got a couple things under old business.
Go ahead.
It was discussed at the last meeting about the temporary and part-time employees. After they accumulate 90 days, they automatically go into the union. I move that Leslie Votal prepare an ordinance for consideration regarding temporary and part-time help employees. Included in that, I would like a monthly report to come back to council from each department on who they have brought in on a part-time basis or temporary basis, and the total number of consecutive days that they have worked.
If you want to email that information to me, I did not have that done for tonight. I can have that ready for the next council meeting.
And can I make a suggestion in that ordinance that there be something that the department heads are to track it, and if they let people go over, that they need to be held accountable?
They will be, they're not gonna let them over, because we always keep track of that.
And Leslie, I have one more request. After you prepare the ordinance, I want it in a timely manner, you know, we don't have to rush this through, but I would like to give Nick Kyle time to review it before we bring it back before the board.
Okay. So, as long as the ordinance is done the first or second meeting in February. Okay. And I did look at that, with everything else going on. Just haven't had time to research it or talk to Mr. Provost, so, but that can happen, in the month of February.
We came to agreement with Tony. Tony, you like to go to the microphone, tell about our agreement? believe me, I'm concerned about it going over too.
I know that you guys have a certain role in my contract. I know what your role is. But I'm not gonna be dictated to by an ordinance that I'm forced to sign, okay? Because that's not how it works. I will take that to our members for a vote, whatever you give me. Because you're changing an arbitration award that we have, okay? And them are binding, unless the parties agree to change them. Pretty clear, okay? So I told you before, I work with them. I mean, we can get through it. But if you're gonna write up ordinances that are so strict that I can't move, ain't gonna, it's not gonna work that way. It's gotta be both ways.
We made an agreement.
Yeah.
That part-time is not gonna become full-time.
Right.
The union
Somehow.
itself-
We have already come to that agreement.
Right.
It's
It's not
signed.
gonna happen. We're gonna watch this closely. I don't wanna, we don't wanna put him on the payroll either.
All right.
And I would like one request, when you hire somebody let us know too,
Yes, I agree.
okay? Because we never know it either,
Well, this is something, I think that I need to sit down with you,
Yeah,
with the mayor, and go over it, and then present it to council, because it's not something, like I said, I knew I needed to do some research on it before
okay.
address it, so,
And,
including that arbitration award.
yeah, you got a copy, I'm sure, it upstairs. All right, but, the other thing I wanna say is, I wanna thank everybody that's trying to get this, through this. I hope I don't have to go into the month of March to get my contract signed. I'm hoping it's the 4th. Is that what I'm gonna?
We got two readings in the
Get
bill.
that.
We got 2 more readings on it and that's done.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anybody got any questions for me? Shoot.
Yeah, Tony, while you're standing there, I was going to request this through Leslie, per you. I would like a copy of that arbitration award. So I can have it, so I can read it too.
You guys have as many as I have, if not more. We each get when an award.
Is it in the?
Yeah, you guys
Is it
have them
is it
upstairs.
actually in the union contract or?
No.
It's an
It's arbitration award, it's a separate, decision from the arbitrator, but it pertains to the union contracts.
Right.
May I have a
Our
copy?
contract says that any arbitration award is final and binding, okay? And no one in the negotiations, and we're concluded, ever stated they wanted to change it, okay? Other than the mayor asked for some help with the summer kids, and we agreed to that.
All right.
So the summer kids,
That's been a problem.
yeah.
And we can run, if we have to, some of the summer kids, we pass the 90 days. If we have to, we can run past 90 days without hiring them.
Right.
We ran into that. See, the way the school breaks up now, they probably won't get 90 days.
Yeah.
Right.
But the mayor has a copy of that decision. If that's
Yeah.
given to me, I'll make sure that it's distributed to council.
All right, we'll get it to you.
Okay.
That was, okay.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
And I got one more thing.
Go ahead.
Leslie, I would like you to go ahead and prepare a resolution which states that while the marketing director position has been funded, this position will not be filled until the contract with the proposed marketing director has been approved by council.
And again, we just didn't have enough time to sit down with everything else, with Grant being out for that week. Because one thing that needs to be done, I think, is there are already people that have been interviewed. So one thing that Grant needs to do, I think, or whoever's, actually interviewing these individuals, we need to know whether or not that's something we have to repost due to the change in the position. And that would be my suggestion if the applicants are not in agreement with the changes, because obviously it's a big difference now, because you're not talking about benefits or anything like that, and that's what they interviewed for. Okay, so that has to happen first, I think. But that's something that can be brought back to council, definitely. I definitely think that a resolution can, well, I don't even know that a resolution needs to happen, other than, you've already cut it from the budget as far as, from the salary ordinance. It is still in the budget, it's still being appropriated for. You would just have to agree to the contract this point. I don't really know that we need a separate resolution. If you want to resolve to do it for a one-year contract and those things, I can gladly prepare that for you, but I don't, after reviewing that today, I was thinking of doing that for tonight. I don't know that, it really just depends on, first we need to see with the people that have already interviewed for the position, if they're even interested. If they're not, then we need to then we could bring it back and say, listen, these are the people that are interested, and proceed from there, and whether or not there's a contract.
Now, you do understand the Board of Works hires that, that's employee. We can bring it back to you guys, okay, the money and everything.
But I don't know about any kind of resolution other than the fact that, I mean, with this appropriation, you've agreed to keep that for this year, that 80,000 is in there for a marketing director position, contract position.
Kyle, do you have any comments on that?
The discussion on that, though, was when we went into this budget on the work session, the 4-hour meeting that we spoke of earlier, that was the first I'd heard of it being in a contract that the city was going to be doing this. I had no clue whatsoever about that being part of a contract with the convention center, that it was going to be $80,000 invested by this city with benefits or whatever it would be on the part there.
It's not required by the contract as Mr.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, it's the first I heard of it.
Okay.
Being a part of, required or not, was at that budget hearing. Nick?
Any more?
Nick wants to address that.
Well, the only concern that I've got is, at that work session, there was a great deal of discussion about making certain that we didn't, with this marketing position, essentially end up with a full-time permanent employee out of the MDF or riverboat budget. I heard that expressed from many of you. And my suggestion was, well, if that's the concern, you know, just deal with it in the contract. Deal with it in the terms under which you hire this person, so that it's very clear that, you know, we won't make them an employee. Perhaps we'll make them an independent contractor, or whatever it is that we need to do to make certain that you aren't locking the city into paying this $80,000 forever. My suggestion was, well, don't fill it until the council has the chance to set those terms and make sure that that's protected. And now I'm hearing, well, we're already interviewing for the position, it's already been posted. They're going to be an employee. They're going to get benefits. That's concerning.
No, they've already cut that. They've already cut that. I mean, that's what happened at that work session, is they cut it from the salary ordinance.
It's in the budget.
It is in the budget as a contract position. If we need to do a resolution to resolve, I mean, that would be the resolution, that we resolve that this position be a contract position.
Well, I believe, and I think, I didn't write down exactly what you said. I think you said something like, it won't be filled until the contract for that position, the terms of that contract, are approved by the council as a whole. I think that would address it completely.
Well, that's what we're going to do. Board of Works does the contract, and it comes back to council.
And then once that contract's approved by the council, then the position can be filled. I think that would, and if it were done by resolution, I think it would take care of all the concerns.
But the Board of Works can't hire them before they're
Can't be hired until that contract, the terms, the form of that contract is approved by the council.
And that's fine.
Oh, no problem.
But all I'm saying is, there's 14, 15, how many you have?
We had 160 applications. We got them down to 14. We interviewed those 14. Well, we're trying to find out from the discussion that happened last week, what can we do with the money that's been appropriated under a contract basis. We have talked with a few of those individuals to see if they're even interested. I've been told no. I've got some calls into some consultants to see if they know of anybody out there that's out of work. We can hire somebody on a consultant type basis, but it won't be a full-time position at those dollars if we do go with a consultant. So we're still researching it, and until I can come back to the board with what the results are from what makes the most sense, I think then y'all can address what you want to do with it contract-wise.
So that's why I didn't
But
prepare
the
any kind of
understanding,
resolution. It's
the
just
understanding
kind of
is,
preliminary until
yeah, it's a
we get the-
1099 position. It's no benefits, no car, it's just, so, we got to research it, guys.
Leslie, my main concern is that the Board of Works don't go ahead and approve this contract until we review it.
We'll bring the contract to the council first, you review it, we'll do, and we'll go back to Board of Works to hire.
Thank you.
So that make
But
everybody
at this
happy?
point, it's kind of preliminary because
Yes.
we need to find out what we can do with the budget
Yeah.
that we have for it. At this
Personally, I don't think you're gonna get anybody. We'll see, but we interviewed some very, very good people. We'll see how it goes.
Mayor, I had a handout to city council and all people in the audience, total, all city employees, wages, and, what we pay out, $10,294,856.55, and that's not including the utility department. Last week, the comment was made by Mrs. Brewing that the general budget could handle that. There's no way the general budget can handle that. And that's why I am so insistent that this, marketing director, she's been budgeted for. But that's why I am so insistent that this city cannot afford to hire any more employees. Our revenue sharing has already dropped this year. Estimates are low. I believe it's going to be much higher. I've been told that we could look at a 30% drop in revenue.
Who told you that?
It was found on the internet.
If it's on the internet, it must be
Well,
true.
Doesn't necessarily make it true.
I think the shot in the dark, I don't think nobody really knows at this point, but that might be a low percentage too.
Well, it could be as high as 30%, it could be as high as 50%, who knows? It could be as low as 3%.
So you never know.
We don't know. We're gonna have to take it. I do know that over a period of 2 months, we lost $1.2 million in revenue sharing.
I thought it was 1.9 over the whole year, wasn't it?
But just in those last 2 months though, October and November, that hit big. So what's it gonna be like when the new boat comes in to Ohio? 1.2 million in 2 months, but overall 1.9. So I would like, I just want the public to know, I think that the city should instate a hiring freeze.
Well, we can't hire more, what's in the budget? I mean, what's in the... I'm not planning on hiring anybody. Unless somebody retires, that takes that position is already there anyway.
Can we look at to see if it needs to be filled or not filled?
We're looking at a lot of that stuff, yes, we are. Some won't be, it all depends what the position is, some of them won't be filled, they won't. Believe me, we watch a lot of it on our end, we do.
And Jane, for the record, the salary employees, some of this wouldn't qualify for, correct?
No, that's not, that does not include non-union.
This does not include non-union utility people or elected officials.
If you take elected officials, board members, and non-union, you're 12,896,000.
I'm saying for like myself, a salary employee.
You're not in there.
Yeah.
You're not even in there.
But you're talking about.
But he is a union member now, so he should be in there.
I didn't say
About
that.
the general budget and
Right.
We don't receive some of these benefits, though.
And I didn't say that the general budget handled all the employees. I said.
You said the wages.
I said the wages with the exception of the 6 employees that I have in MDF. And like Suzanne was saying, medical does not come out of general. And these figures you have here, for example, the sick pay instead of almost $60,000, that's just what's budgeted. We don't pay that out.
Right.
I probably have 15 employees that get it. These are just budget figure totals. So
Correct, but I just wanted them to see the overall, what came out of general and what came out of the other funds.
Okay. Thank you.
And I would like Nick Carroll to address appropriations for the general fund so we can pay our employees for the rest of the year.
Well, just, you still have an additional appropriation to do.
I mean, I know, and certainly you can adopt these salary ordinances tonight, if you've added the language that they're subject to appropriation. However, and I think I've sent you all a letter or an email to this effect, there's a risk, because you don't have an appropriation to cover a full year at those higher salaries. If you don't get that additional appropriation passed to pay for those raises, at some point you will shut the city down. It must be done. And so you're getting the cart a little bit before the horse in that you do not have that appropriation to cover those raises. You can go ahead and adopt the salary ordinance. I know that it's time to move past that. However, you got to get back on that quickly. It'll catch up to you.
Okay. We gotta go back to second and third reading of the salary ordinance.
do you want me to do this?
You got the changes to it?
Yeah. Just a quick question though, because I know Leslie emailed you guys about before I read this with the changes that we can make, which are just some skill trade changes, which the amount I'm reading is the correct amount on the board members. How it says 100 per meeting times 12 times 5. For example, like how it has Board of Works members 4. Are you guys good with just putting like Board of Zoning members? There's 5, and that's what they get for their salary. Sent you an email about this.
Let me see
That way
that.
they get $100 per month. Leslie sent you guys an email last week about.
It was something that Jane had brought up after
It
the
was,
meeting.
it was something that I brought up, but I was told that's not.
Salary?
It just would be like a salary. Everybody would get, this would break down to $100 per month times 5 people. And this would, like how this says Board of Works members 4 versus it's saying per meeting because redevelopment's been having 2, or that way if they don't go, it's like they get a salary.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
I have since been told that's not good government, that we should not be paid for something that we do not attend.
But you might have 3 meetings in one. I mean, look at redevelopment. I mean, last month you had 3 or 4 meetings.
We always at least have 2.
It's just, I think it balances out, but that's totally up to you. We did not change it formally because you called and said just not to do that. But if we have to amend this because of the salaries change on the utility department, that's the only reason
We might
that
as well
Teresa was
change
bringing
it.
it up.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
I myself think it should be per meeting, because ethically, I don't want to accept a check that I didn't attend a meeting for.
So if redevelopment has 2 meetings,
Don't
you're gonna
be
give them
paying more.
$200 per month then?
Right now it's like for one, but
It would be per meeting. If I did attend 2 meetings, I would get 2 checks.
You have 3 meetings, you get 3.
Oh, we get 3. But if we had 0 meetings,
$1,000 isn't right then.
if we had 0 meetings, I would get 0 check.
You're gonna have to put a lot more money in.
Right.
You're gonna put a lot more money in that.
That's gonna cover it. That's why we didn't, to make it read like, yeah, it's your guys'
Make it read like
decision.
Board
I
of
just wanted
Works.
to know
The
how to
Board of
read it.
Works would get, because there's 4 members, that's 16,000 yearly, they get, what they get. The Board of Zoning, there's 5 people, you would just split that 6,000 between those 5 people per year.
Which should be $100 per month. You'd get 12 checks.
This one mine.
I believe that it should be just per month. I mean, it's just like anything, you get into it, you're gonna put more time into it, you're not gonna get paid per hour on the part there, but I think if you get into the other, you're gonna be paying a heck of a lot more money
I think it's gonna be more
for
too.
meetings that you're gonna be going to.
Per meeting.
I mean,
You
I
put
think
that
it
in
should
the
be,
motion?
Doug, are you saying per meeting or per month?
Per month.
Per month.
Just the salary, monthly salary.
It'd be $100 if you had one I mean, it's just like with redevelopment, you got 2 meetings, you're gonna get $100 for that month, but you're on the redevelopment, but it's basically.
You have 5 meetings, you're getting $100.
Right.
I'll put that in motion.
I'll put it in motion, it'd be $100 per month for the Board of Zoning, Planning Commission, and redevelopment.
You have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Roll call, please.
Jane Pope,
No.
Aaron Cook,
Yes.
Bill Brunner. Mike Lawrence,
Yes.
Doug Taylor.
Yes.
And for the record, the only reason why I voted no, because I believe if I do not attend a meeting, I should not receive a check if there are 0 meetings.
And then as far as the last, we did not read the ordinance last time, but do you want us to go through those electric positions that have the extra 50
They
cents?
voted a nay, so we have to
Yes.
read it, the whole thing. Right?
Well, not if we're amending it. If we're amending it, then they pass a
Can we
new
just read it
ordinance.
once and then?
Yes.
This one's, so I'm gonna say Board of Zoning 5 at 6 out, just so we're on the same page, okay? Ordinance 1, 2013, an ordinance fixing the rate of compensation of employees of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana. Whereas the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg is required to pass a new salary ordinance for all the union and non-union employees of the city pursuant to the union contract passed by the Board of Works and other employment contracts as provided by the law and subject to appropriations. Now therefore be it ordained that the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, that Section 1, the following schedule of rate of compensation of employees of the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, Dearborn County, Indiana, beginning January 1st, 2013, shall be as follows. City of Lawrenceburg rates of pay. Elected officials, mayor, $47,600 yearly. Clerk treasurer, $49,670 yearly. City judge, $39,405 yearly. Common council members, 5, $50,000 yearly. Board members, Board of Works members, 4, $16,000. Board of Zoning, 5 members, $6,000. Planning Commission, 7 members, $8,400. Redevelopment, 5 members, $6,000. Union position, Civil City, General Foreman, $27.78 hourly. Vehicle Maintenance Foreman, $26.28 hourly. Civil City Working Foreman, $25.26. Project Manager, $25.26. Mechanic A, $25.24. Mechanic B, $22.63. Street Sweeper Operator, Labor, $23.11. Labor, $21.71. Clerical A, $21.98. Clerical A with degree, $22.48. Mayor Secretary, $25.57. Administrative Assistant, $21.98. Engineering Title XV, I know that's it. 15. Code Support, $21.98. Enforcement Officer Salary, $1,027.05 weekly. Construction Project Manager Salary, $1,402.81. Building Commissioner Salary, $1,445.66. Engineering Title Codes Director Salary, $1,828.13. Building and Maintenance Working Foreman, $25.76. Building and Maintenance Labor, $22.71. Painter Labor, $22.21. Refuse Collector, $23.11. Parks Department, Parks Working Foreman, $25.76. Parks Caretaker, $22.47. Parks Assistant Caretaker, $22.21. Custodian Department, Custodian, $21.71. The electric is what I'm reading is the correct, what it'll be. Electric Department, Electric Working Foreman, $27.12. Electric Lineman and Serviceman A, $25.87. Electric Lineman, Serviceman B, $25.02. Electric Labor and Groundman, $24.52. Electric Lineman Apprenticeship, $22.18. Electric ELE GIS CAD Tech 1 without license, $26.
Teresa, may I stop you a minute? I must have the wrong ordinance, salary ordinance. I haven't got an updated one.
These
They're
we
being
had to
updated.
fill in, they're gonna be updated. This is what everybody was talking about in the
They
between
didn't have
the
this,
recess.
the skilled trade adjustments and such wasn't included in the ones that you're seeing differently.
Okay.
And
50
utilities.
cents.
It's just
Except
50
for
cents.
the metering department, which was just 25 cents.
Are you gonna show? Okay. Water and sewer departments, water and sewer working
What was
foreman.
what was the one previous to that, Teresa?
2639.
2639. Sorry. I can slow down.
Good.
Water and sewer departments, water and sewer working foreman with DSO and W-2-3 license, 2789. Water and sewer working foreman, 2639. Water and sewer service and maintenance with DSO and WT3 license, 2490. Water and sewer service and maintenance, 2390. Water and sewer plant operator with DSO and WT3 license, 2355. Water and sewer plant operator, 2305. Water and sewer labor and maintenance with DSL and WT3 license, 2355. Water and sewer labor and maintenance, 2305. Water labor, 2234. Water GIS CAD technician with license, 2689. Metering department, meter working foreman, 2639. Meter technician 2, 2420. Meter technician 1, 2283. Remedial working foreman with DSL and WT3 license, 2664. Remedial and service and maintenance with license, 2550. Police department, police.
Sorry, on the remedial, 2639.
And on mails for remedial working foreman with,
2664.
he's got 2689.
Should be 2689.
Which one?
Remedial working foreman with DSL and WT3 license.
89.
It was
Next.
2639. It should be 50 cents, which is
Okay.
2689.
Is that what you have, Mel? You good?
That's what mine says
Sorry.
that he gave me.
Okay.
Remedial.
Okay, 2550. Police department, police chief salary, $1,291.20. Assistant police chief, that should say hourly. Is $29.58.
All right, that should be marked out. The salary part should be marked out. Okay.
Captain, $25.19. Sergeant, $24.89. Detective, $24.89. Patrolman, $24.13. Police office manager, $25.57. Police clerk A, $22.48. Police clerk B, $21.43. Parking enforcement, $19.98. Police dispatcher, $16.40. Fire department, fire chief salary, $1,271.20. Firefighter, $23.13. EMS department, working supervisor salary, $1,271.20 weekly. EMT, $23.13. Utility office, accounting customer service, $22.61. Clerical A, $21.98. Clerical B, $21.43. Utility accountant, $26.92. City court, court clerk, $22.98. Clerical A, $21.98. Clerical B, $21.43. Clerk treasurer, office manager, $25.57. Accounting customer service, $22.61. Clerical A, $21.98. Non-union positions, mayor's assistant redevelopment director, $82,560 yearly. Legal department, city attorney, and the assistant city attorney, $200 per hour. Utility department, utility director, $100,000, sorry, $112,151. Human resource office director, $56,760 yearly. Civil city parks utility, maintenance parks, $13.75 hourly. Pool manager, $16.50 hourly. Assistant pool manager, $14. Part-time summer help lifeguards, $10.55. Part-time summer help clerical garage pool cashiers, $9.45. Part-time summer help utility, $13.25. Police department, part-time police clerks, $20 per hour. Police reserves, $30 per hour. That's subject to change. Fire department, assistant fire chief, deputy chief, $9,250 yearly. Captains, $2,000 yearly. Training officer, $4,000 yearly. District chief 1, assistant fire chief, $4,000 yearly. District chief 2, $4,000 yearly. Lieutenants, $1,000. Volunteer pay per run / meeting, $20 per run or meeting. Volunteer shift work, $10 hourly. EMS department part-time EMT, $18.24. Part-time call-out, $50.18. Clerk treasurer part-time clerical, $13.25. This above wage scale only and is not to be constructed as work classification. The asterisk includes skilled trade adjustment according to the following schedule: project engineer 10 cents, mechanic 50 cents, carpenter 50 cents, AMR tech 25 cents, lineman 50 cents, professional police officer 50 cents, water with DSL and WT3 license 50 cents, clerical with degree 50 cents. Section 2, the following are certain incentives, benefits, and conditions associated with the above rates of pay for the employees of the city of Lawrenceburg. A, retirement plans. As stated in the union contract designated below, the city will contribute $1.50 per hour worked into the employee's union pension fund, if applicable. Further, the employee will contribute $3.10 per hour worked into their union pension for a total of $4.60 per each hour worked, if applicable. The city will contribute $124 per week for the retirement plans of the mayor and clerk treasurer. This will be in effect December 31st, 2013. The city agrees further to abide by ADA regulations, Non-Discrimination Act, Family Leave Regulations, and the Workers' Compensation Act. D, the city agrees to pay for continuing education of any and all schooling and training as long as it is job-related and determined by the employee supervisor. E, all safety forces will take breaks and lunch times as times permits during their schedule. F, all other union employees' fringe benefits and other working conditions, including skilled rate adjustment, are contained in the collective bargaining agreement between, between the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, and the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers and Local Union Number 1391. G, all other non-union employees and appointees' benefits and other working conditions include those contained in the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, and the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers and Local Union Number 1391, but only as prescribed, if applicable, by employment contract under
Article 4.
Thank you. 4, 5, 10.
5, Section
1.
Section 1, Article 6.
8.
Article 8, Article 11,
11.
Article
7.
7, Article
13.
13.
Article
15.
Article 22, 25,
5.
and
28.
Thank you. In addition, the non-union salary positions are stated in their employment contract shall receive an annual cost of living increase based on the average hourly percentage increase in said collective bargaining agreement. Section 3, said salaries above shall be paid at least on a semi-monthly basis, but they may be paid upon a more frequent basis at the discretion of the clerk treasurer. Section 4, the above rates of compensation shall not go into effect until January 1st, 2013, unless otherwise provided by employment contract. Section 5, any other salary ordinance or parts of ordinance herewith are hereby repealed, passed by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, on this 22nd day of January 13th, today.
And sit down.
Yeah.
Entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 1 for second reading.
Title only.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Aye.
Jane Poe,
Yes.
Aaron Cook,
Yes.
Bill Brunner,
Yes.
Mike Lawrence,
No.
Doug Taylor.
Yes.
Read the whole thing again.
No. And do it by title only.
Aye. Are you okay with that?
Let's make a motion
Okay.
to do it by title only.
Yeah.
So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Thank you. Ordinance 1, 2013, salary ordinance for the year 2013.
Read ordinance number 1 for third and final reading, by title only. Your entire motion.
And vote on it.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes. Roll call, please.
Jane Poe,
Yes.
Aaron Cook,
Yes.
Bill Brunner,
Yes.
Mike Lawrence,
No.
Doug Taylor.
Yes.
Ayes have it. No contract.
Good? Okay. That was a lot. Thanks for your help on the Roman numerals.
I'll prepare the one.
Okay. And then if you guys want to just come in the office tomorrow, or let's say
That'd be the best way to
Wednesday,
do it.
sign it.
The interlocal, are we gonna do that Monday night?
after the ordinance, or
That was
Or can it
the last meeting,
be-
wasn't it?
Not the interlocal, we haven't done it yet.
or can it be tonight?
Oh,
We can do it
this?
tonight.
Are you, you're talking about this?
Yeah.
Oh.
We do the interlocal tonight.
Yeah.
Did everybody have a chance to read the interlocal? Was in your package?
Oh, the Greendale thing?
Yes.
Which one?
Any questions? Entertain a motion?
So move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
I have one other thing. We need to set up an executive session for the Middle Earth case. The attorney, Ed Leptak, can be here Thursday, or he can be here Monday for our next meeting. I just need a direction on what time is better for council. It's just an executive session on that case pending litigation.
Can we do it before Monday's meeting?
We can, if you want to do it
All
before
right,
Monday's
everybody?
meeting.
Knock it out one day?
Right before.
Like
that fine,
5
or-
o'clock.
5 o'clock fine?
I mean, I don't think it'll take a whole hour, but we can go ahead and set for 5 and take a break in between that and council
Okay,
meeting.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 Monday then?
5.
Council executive session, so I can
Yes.
tell her at 5.
Yes, if the clerk's office could please post that, that would be wonderful.
Is the 4th.
If anything from the audience, anybody want to speak? Go ahead.
I heard Jane say something about hiring freeze, and you know, I asked, last time I was here about how long we were gonna keep extra counsel and extra financial. That, to me, I mean, why are we paying this extra money? I just don't understand. But yet, we're cutting budgets, but we can afford to pay these guys fees every meeting. I don't understand that, and I'm not gonna get an answer, I know that already. But, I want it noted that I asked that question because a hiring freeze, but yet we have these guys here at the blink of a hat, and they're not free. And I asked if we were gonna have them here for the 4-year period. And I did talk to one of the councilmen, and he said, no, he didn't believe that would happen. But he was the only one that said that. And I think if you keep them here for the 4-year term of you guys, that's $1 million. But, you know, you're not paying for it, so I guess you don't worry about it.
Anybody else? Moving on to adjournment, entertain a motion.
So moved.
The second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Adjourn. You don't want to keep it?
I'll keep it, but I didn't know if you wanted it back.
Okay.
I usually just leave them all.
Hi.
They protect you.
Real quick, so.
Want me to sign this?
Hold on, yeah, 1 second. Real quick, so as of now, starting next
Find out.
paycheck, you start paying, get the new rate and all that.
Actually, and then we'll work on going back.
Then I'll work on going to the.
And I made you a copy.
Okay, that's fine. I just have them and ask
Have them
it.
sign, have them sign three, you can take one.
I don't think so.
Okay. And if people, I will work on it as.
You know what that's gonna sound like on the.
I think we're good. Thanks for all your help.
Yeah, I want you to do that, Bob.
Need any more hanging wire?
I haven't even brought it. You need to sign it.
I did.
Did you steal my pen?
Huh?
Oh, okay.
You sign, oh, don't.
Let me have it.
I'm sorry. So you'll,
We'll get your.
Sign that, Tony.
the ordinance?
He likes it, she said.
Are you just gonna attach it to me and I'll do it? Is that right? Yeah.
Here in town, we go out.
Okay.
What are we doing? I could whiskey.
I want to get out of here. I'm hungry.
You're gonna do the ordinance? Okay. Okay, that's fine. You make a crack at it and I'll put it in my whereases or whatever. Okay.
Everything, but let me know.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to simple
On the general.
I think so. I think.
Don't matter, whenever you want to come.
Mike and Doug.
Guys.
Set something up, then Jenny, she'll come.
Obviously, I don't
All
want
those
to.
changes.